have some superb Christmas knitting that I am very, very chuffed with. Now, since I happen to have used the Yarnit, I can do a little bit of a correction, because last week I got all hooked up on doing the review and getting very excited about that, and I got a couple of things wrong. I'm sorry, guys. They were super kind. They got in touch and they said they loved the review and it was awesome, but I got the URL completely wrong when I told you guys it on the podcast. Now, I corrected it in the show notes and everything, so you guys might know already, but it's theyarnit.com that this is at, not just yarnit.com, theyarnit.com. Other than that, she also said that they, after she saw the review, she said she's going to reduce the shipping to the UK for these. So they are $30. I was right. Well, $29.95, but I'm sorry, guys. I always round up when I'm doing that. So instead, what I'm going to do is it's $30, but they said they would reduce the shipping down to $13 for the UK. So it's a little bit cheaper shipping. So if you guys do want it in the UK, you can still get hold of it, which is awesome. And I've been using that with, this was Cascade 220, so it's 100 grams of worsted, which was in there fine, and I've already knit a chunk out of it, so obviously there's loads of room in there now, but there was loads of room at the beginning. So again, the space issue that I wasn't so sure about has tested fine. And I made something, and I'm very excited. This is the first time I've ever made anything like this. I've made it with Cascade 220, so you might be able to guess what it is. That and it's Christmas knitting, and I probably have been talking about it a lot. And it's a present, so if anybody thinks that they're going to see me at Christmas and they might expect a present off me, you probably shouldn't be watching this, because I'm going to be talking about Christmas presents. But I don't think they're watching. So, here it is! It is my first attempt at a toy, which is very cool, and I am so, so chuffed with him. So obviously, if you guys know the pattern, you'll recognise, I hope, that it's going to be Dandy Sir Cephalopod, which is a Susan Claudino pattern. And I managed to actually get his head stuffed and finished last night. So I was busily beavering away trying to get something ready so that I could come and show him to you in a slightly less than manic state. And I just love his little legs. Look at this. Now, I watched the pictures in the pattern, and you're supposed to be able to get them to stand up. And then you go, boop, and they just sit down like that, which is so cute. And I'm hoping my friend that I'm making this for is going to absolutely love it. The eyes I got on Etsy. Now I've put the box down here, excuse me. So I got these, which are just some little trimmets. They're 15mm solid black eyes, because the pattern seemed to have used solid ones. And I have to admit, I did look, if I show you him again, I did look for kind of safety eyes that had like the coloured irises. And when I thought about putting them on this pattern, it did seem a little bit weird. So I don't know why, but it seems to work better with the solid black eyes on this little guy. So I've got them on, and I've got his head and his legs stuff, which means all I've got to do is the little dapper hat on top and stuff that, and then his monocle. And I even bought the fabric glue for it. So if you're in the UK, because the pattern's US based, it talks about kind of where you can purchase different things for the pattern in the US. So tangerine designs for the button and things like that. I'm not in the US, so I had a hunt around, and Etsy, it turns out, is awesome even for the UK. So I managed to find, I have my little bag of bits that I brought with me here, so please excuse me a moment. I managed to find the little moustachy buttons, and I got them from Button Addiction, who are on Etsy. Yes. I'm trying to remember now. I'm thinking, yes, they're on Etsy. Now, you can buy these kind of little coloured moustache buttons from China for like, 300 for a tenner or something ridiculous. And I was like, well, I don't need 300, and I don't want 300, and I don't want to spend a tenner. So if you go on Etsy, then basically there was a lady in the UK that was selling little packs of 10 that she's obviously made up herself, probably from a Chinese bulk order. And the total, including postage, came to £1.72. So for 10 little moustache buttons, that'll do me very nicely for the rest of my time. Awesome sauce. So that's got the moustache bit sorted out, and it's the right size. So you can see him there, little right size for his face, because they're pretty much the same size as the Tangerine Design ones. But obviously it's not the original, and we want to support independent makers. So if you guys are in America, please buy from Tangerine Designs. And if you guys can afford the shipping, then you can buy from Tangerine Designs elsewhere in the world as well. The other thing I got, where is it? Oh, that's the spare ones. So you get a kit of 2 when I bought them. I can't remember off the top of my head now where I got these ones from. I should have written it down and I didn't. I'm sorry, guys. What are you going to do? Ah, dearie me. So I think that's, yes, oh, the fabric glue. I knew there was something else. See? I've not quite lost it and forgotten everything yet. We've got a few hours to go. It could still happen. So the other thing she talks about is getting fabric glue. I found sort of a bunch all over the place online, but I just went to Hobbycraft and it was £3. Hobbycraft isn't the cheapest place, but they have this stuff in, which, you know, when you want to get it, is really useful. So it's £3 for fabric glue. And what's quite cool with this is it's opaque white at the moment, but it's supposed to dry clear, and it can be used on fabrics that will require washing when in use. So although Cascade 220, I didn't use the superwash, so this will be hand wash only, the polyfill actually is from Hobbycraft as well. Thank you, Kay, for the recommendation. And for the recommendation for the yarn, actually, it was Kay's Bakery Bear pattern that I read that said Cascade 220 was really good for her pattern. So when I came to look at stuff and it was all saying worsted, I was like, I'm just going to go and buy myself a load of Cascade 220, which you will see later on in Stash Love. So yes, the polyfill was something like £3 for a big bag. I've not brought those with me because that's just more oomph, but I did bring some spare. You'll find out why later on. Tease. So glue and fluff from Hobbycraft. Yarn, I just grabbed it online. I think it was probably, is it woolywonders.co.uk? I've got some notes somewhere for different online shops that are useful, so I will come back to that later on as well. We've got loads of time here, yeah? I don't have to rush. I don't have to get everything in the first segment. The eyes, as I said, from Etsy, the moustache from Etsy as well. And the other yarns I'm going to use a sort of a light yarn for the hat, and then I've got a black. Both of those yarns are actually being used for other Christmas presents as well, but I should have plenty left over for scraps to make the rest of him. Or her, I haven't decided. What do you guys reckon? Genderless, cephalopod, or are you feeling a him or a her out of this one? Let me know.
How many legs does it have?
8.
Oh, so not a... It's not a 9th leg.
I am making no comments. Right, so I shall stash these away for a second, but I may well be coming back to this bag and the fluff later on. Very exciting. Okay, so I shall stash this one a bit closer to me. All right, more whips. What do we have? In terms of Christmas knitting, that is everything that I've started. It's fine, right? And if anyone was watching on Instagram in the last couple of days, Josh, sort of a knitter, he's just released a new MCAL for a scarf called Scarfy Shenanigans. Ta-da! So thank you very much, Josh, for your beautiful pattern. And if you guys haven't done a Josh pattern or you've not seen this, he's actually offering it for free until tomorrow. So if you go onto the forum, onto the pattern page, geez, words, James, then there's a code on there that you can see on the pattern page. Enter it in, you get the pattern for free and you can join in. Today is the first day, so I have day one's instructions behind here, but I'm not going to stick them on the internet because you might have to pay for them in the future. Well, you will after tomorrow. After tomorrow, it's a paid for pattern, but you never know. I might just try and knit this whilst I'm talking to you guys, because I'm really good at knitting whilst I'm talking, aren't I? Not. There are other people much better at it than me, but how do I get better? I practice. So I'm going to have to give it a go, aren't I? Thank you, Catty. I am currently having Catty's tea that she gave me. I gave the tea bag to my friend to make for me, and she very kindly got rid of the rubbish, which means I have no idea what it's called. But I can tell you it's very tasty, and it's from Germany. So I know that I have a couple more of these at home, so I'll be able to tell you about it next week. And I have another one in backup from Ellie. Thank you very much, Ellie. So I'll be trying this one later, assuming I remember and don't get completely confuddled, which is really a possibility with me. So I'm just going to have a little moment to wet my whistle and have a drink and chill.
Social media time.
Thank you. Social media time. Let's see if you guys are chatting to me, or if you've all gone home, quite frankly, because it is a possibility. Awesome. Okay. So, excuse me, Moira. Ah, it's Moira. Hi, Moira. Who is Roxanne on Ravelry, asking me about knitting with the extreme stuff. Yes, I call these my extreme needles. I will be doing some knitting on these later on. So if you can't see it live, obviously you can watch the recording later on, but I'm going to do some stuff showing you guys how I knit on that and everything. No worries. Awesome. So we've got Coop Comp in Northern Ohio. Kazi Nono's watching, bless you. Distortion over in Norway. Hi, Emma. Oh, wow, you guys are all over the place. I am loving all the photos of me on the internet, quite frankly. It's doing my ego the world of good. I don't think the chat seems to be having much attention, so I don't know if you guys have left the chat now, or if you guys are all on the chat page next to Ustream. So I'm going to have a quick look. Yes, Caddy, it's your tea. Oh, wicked. So I'm not seeing anything like questions, just lots and lots of lovely chat, which is awesome. Yes, thank you, Kathy. She reminded me, she nicknamed the octopus for me as Bucephalus. I have no idea what this means. I think it's the name of a dog, maybe. I didn't quite catch that from Kathy, but she said he's called Bucephalus. So if anyone knows what that is, please let me know. Other than that, you guys seem to be having a lovely time chatting away without me, so I shall leave you guys to it. If you do have questions or anything, then stick them in capital letters in the chat, or pop them in the forum chat, because that one seems to be a bit quieter. Oh, good, thank you. Cappuccino136, is that K? I'm not sure, I can't remember your real name, I'm sorry. But you're saying that you are still there. So good, if you have questions for me, dump them in there or in the forum post, and I'll just have a quick flick through each time. But there's nothing there at the moment, so I shan't hang around anymore. Right, what I will do then is I do have some little bits of progress on some of the older stuff, so I'll just grab those. Because I thought it's been ages since I pulled some of these out because of the rush for Christmas and everything else. So, this one I actually haven't done any progress, but it deserves to be shown again because it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So this is, I mean, let's have some bag appreciation first, right? Thank you. This is the MCAL that I was doing before the shawl MCALs. I've got Josh's beside me here because I finished that. So spoiler alert, if you've not done this and you still want it, Josh's gorgeous shawl there from his earlier MCAL. Josh, you are ruining my Christmas knitting progress, quite frankly. This is 2 MCALs in my Christmas knitting season you've put on. Are you trying to ruin me here? But Stephen West also did one, and because I'm a sucker, I also went to do his. So if you guys, you might not have seen it in a while at least, if you have seen it before, but it's beautiful and it's worth showing off. Now I don't have it on very long needles, so I have to do the fiddly mucking about with it first, but there we go. So that is Stephen's at the moment. I've done clues 1 to 3, but I haven't done clue 4 at all, which is the border. That will be in the main colour. I feel like I can tell you that much because I'm going to show it to you anyway when it's done. And I'm really looking forward to it. It kind of looks lacy and pointy, and I've not done pointy lacy things as a border yet. I was a little bit concerned about whether lacy would look odd on this shawl, and on me, quite frankly. But, you know, there's an element of trust when you do these things. I'm trusting Josh with his, and I'm trusting Stephen with his. So we'll see what happens. I know some people that were doing the knit along with me have finished it. I really liked it, and other people, such as I don't know, Josh, decided they didn't like the border, and we're going to change it. Pfft, where's the trust, Josh? So that one hasn't seen any love at all because other stuff has had priority. Fair dues. Those two can wait for a second. Now this one has had some progress in things like VKNs and stuff because it is a straightforward knit, and I now have it in my gorgeous bag from Sharon. Thank you, Sharon, down in New Zealand. And thank you, my New Zealand friends, for getting up ridiculously early in the morning, and my Australian friends as well, and everyone else down that side of the planet. And I'm so sorry that you could have had a lie-in because of our little technical problems. But my stripy jumper, which I have been showing you guys, well, not for weeks and weeks, but I did show it for weeks and weeks a while ago, and then went to one side whilst I got on with other stuff. So you can see I've done a couple more stripes on here. So I've got the 6 colours that repeat, and I've nearly got another full repeat of that. I've got a couple more rows of this green, and then I've got another stripe of the yellow to add on to the end. So I'm not far off 2 whole repeats, and I think it's going to be 4 whole repeats from the bottom right the way up to my neck. So I'm about almost halfway up the body, which is awesome because it's a plop. It's a project in long-term, ongoing progress. That one's from Tilly, I think via somebody else, but I didn't catch his. So thank you, Tilly Trout, for that. This is my plop. And this bag is so huge, it's actually holding all of my sweater yarn in here with space still to go, which is just amazing. I love this bag so much. Thank you, Sharon. I love all of my bags, to be honest. I think all my bags deserve lots and lots of appreciation and love. I don't even have them all with me. That's how awesome you guys are. I didn't even have all of my bags with me. So, in my lovely little Lucy Needs to Knit bag, which is the replacement one that she sent me, Lucy, you are a star. Thank you so, 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 so much. Still not heard anything about where the original bag went over in Bakewell, so we're just assuming naughty fingers. But I have this gorgeous bag. Is my prep work for the cow next year in the winter. So it's probably going to be sort of mid-January-ish that we're starting. And I just decided to try and knit up another copy because both the copies of this that I've made so far, this is the hat, by the way. I can show you the pattern because it's free and it's mine, so I get to do that, including with all my scribbly notes on it. So that's what it looks like at the moment. It's not the world's best written pattern, so I apologise. But I hope to do a bit of work on it before we actually do the knit along, assuming I'm not still frantically knitting Christmas presents into mid-January, which is quite possible. But this is what I've got so far. So I've done nearly 5.5 inches, and I'm going to start doing the decreases fairly soon. However,
oh, that's 5.5 inches.
I don't know if you guys can hear the comments in the background, but I ain't repeating them. This is all the yarn I've got left from this particular skein, so I thought I would have the yardage for it, and I clearly don't. So I think that's because my gauge, my tension has loosened up since I started knitting continental style versus English. So I'm going to have to go and find some well, I don't know actually, because I bought this yarn really randomly, but it was fairly cheap yarn, so I can probably get some online for a couple of quid just to finish it off, which will totally be worth it because I would like to have some photos, some more photos to stick in the pattern. But I know that some people have started and in fact finished some of these hats, which is epic. I'm trying to think who it was that posted a couple of them on the forum. I can't remember. I'm sorry. This happened, guys. It started happening. I've already thought of people and I can't remember your names. I'm so sorry. But somebody out there, a very, very special somebody out there, and you know who you are. Yeah, you can claim credit in the chat section, yeah? You shout up and say, it was me! And then everyone can give you kudos, just because I can't, I'm a failure. They've knit a couple already in gorgeous colours as well. So that's awesome. And any feedback you guys have, I think they've already given me some feedback actually, but if you got any of you other guys are knitting some earlier. And as I said before, the plan, as I say, is to do some work on the pattern because obviously at the moment it's only written in DK because that was just what I knit it in when I made this hat for my mate. with some chat. I'd met, we'd started chatting, it was getting on, go out, do some friendly stuff. And he was like, it's my birthday soon. I was like, I'll make you a hat. He's like, you can do that. I'm like, yeah, because knitters can do things like that. It's awesome. So I did, and I literally just made up a pattern, and I had no idea what size head he has, so I just did 2v2 ribbing, and then worked out some decreases and grafted the top, because I hate the whole weave the yarn through the last few stitches and pull it tight thing. You always get a little hole at the top, and I hated that. Hated that. So I made my own version. So, you know, it's only a hat pattern. It's nothing major. But I did it in DK for him. So I'm doing it in DK again now, so that I've got one for photos and stuff. And then, assuming I don't suddenly sign up for 17 MCALs, promise somebody I'll knit them a blanket in a day and do various other ridiculous things, which I am want to do, then I will knit a 4-ply version and another version like that. If any of you guys want to do that for me, you are most welcome to. I would love you forever, and you would get first dibs when somebody finally makes me badges, because I am going to have to go to eBay and claim my money back. Yeah, bad news, guys. I've been in touch with them again since they supposedly came back off holiday. No contact whatsoever, email or through eBay. So eBay have got in touch and said, if you've not heard anything, then let us know. So that's what I'm going to do. Which sucks, which means I'm sorry, Crystal. Hi, Crystal! I can hear squeeing. I'm sorry, the badges are going to be delayed again. So maybe they will be out for the Winter 2015 knit along. Maybe that's when I'll have them. Episode 10 badges didn't quite happen when he did it. But hey, start as you mean to go on, right? Why have things done on time when you can have them done an hour late or 10 episodes late? If I seem to randomly laugh, I'm not doing it to myself. It's because Tamir's chatting in the background and making sarky comments. I imagine he knows you can't hear him, and that's why he's doing it. So the other things that I have as works in progress are my spinning. And I haven't touched these for a really, really long time. And I'm so sorry, guys, because this whole kit was a lovely, lovely donation, gift, present, wondrous, generous thought from Rebecca, who is britishbeeknits.etsy.com. And she sent me a Turkish spindle and this gorgeous, 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 in fact I can take it out, braid. There we go, that's the word for it, right? And since I last showed it to you guys, I haven't actually done any spinning. I haven't done any love to it. So I'm so sorry, Rebecca. I will do, probably after Christmas. I'm setting myself up again now, aren't I? I'm going to be like, oh, I'm going to have to spin everything before the cal and also get the pattern done. And, oh, I want to do all the things. What I need is some kind of cloning technology. Yeah, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's that kind of thing of, I need to make 17 things, particularly this time of year. And it's just not going to happen. There's only one me, and everyone's just going to have to wait. I've got another one. Okay, holding it still. Doo-doo. Oh, there we go. Oh, this is just like the Bakery Bears, but live. Suck on that, Dan. Live zooming. It's not a competition, guys. It's not a competition, but my podcast is better than yours. So this is the other one that I got when I was in, oh gosh, this is probably the June one in Woolfest, I think. That or Yarndale, I can't remember now. From, oh, sniff that. Woolly, woolly smell. The knitters who are watching me know what I'm talking about. These guys are giggling at me as I'm sniffing this. But I know that you understand. Hilltop Cloud, there we go. Thank you, whoever it was that was shouting it at me. I heard you. And again, this one hasn't really had any love, but it will do. So my spinning, sorry guys that love the spinning and stuff, I just haven't really given it much attention. But with Josh and Stephen both bringing out shawl MCALs, which just wrecked me, and then Josh bringing out another MCAL for a scarf, whilst I'm trying to also do Christmas knitting, everything's kind of been put to one side. So that is all of the whips that I have going on at the moment, I think. Yes, it is. Time for another quick sippy sippy. Another thing for the guys in the room to look at me weirdly for, but you guys understand. So that's fine. I'm relying on you to understand. I don't know if Sam and Kim have been able to watch, excuse me, the live episode at all, but I know that they're with me in spirit, if not in person right now. Over in, is it Arizona you guys are based in? Somewhere where basically even in the middle of winter it's still hot and you complain about the heat and the rest of us in the rest of the world are going, shut up, we hate you. Right, naps was the other thing I wanted to talk about, but that kind of borderlines with stack acquisition. So I think I'm going to go for something random in between time. And that is, I wanted to set myself a challenge. And it's already, I'm talking so much already, I'm going to run out of time before I even start this. So one of the things that I've seen a lot of people talking about recently is the Bluebird of Happiness, which is a free pattern, so I can hold it up for you. And it's the cutest, darnest little thing you have ever seen. If you haven't tried to make one of these yet, then actually, if you haven't tried to make one of these yet, you've got a couple of minutes to go and grab about 25 yards of worsted weight yarn, some US size 4 DPNs. I'm going to be using, I think, a US size 4 circular. I'm going to do it a magic loop, but I'm pretty sure that's fine. A darning needle and some stuffing. So now you know why I brought with me a load of stuffing. There's a potential that I might try something else, but to be honest, I'm not even sure I'll manage to cast this on, never mind get it knit whilst I'm trying to talk to you guys, so we'll see. So there, worsted weight yarn, US size 4 needles, and some stuffing. If you guys can grab that, go grab it, pull it together, and then in a little while, we'll actually do a little live knit-along type thing whilst I'm trying to talk about something else because I'm insane. And I need a slap around the face, basically. Which Aisha did offer that if I started getting hysterical, she would do for me. She said she was just going to step on and go, whoosh, just to bring me back to my senses. Because that's what my friends that are here in real life are for. Right, so, stash love. I think I'll do a little bit of stash love and then we'll come back to the cast on.
4 minutes before your next.
Oh, okay.
You've got something to do in 4 minutes. Do that and leave your stash love.
4 minutes, guys, 4 minutes. Okay, well, what haven't I talked about? Needle adjacent projects. Okay, I can talk a little bit about those. So I just won't show you the stuff for it yet. I'll show you it after the social media moment. So as well as Sanandes cephalopod, Bucephalus cephalopod. Catty, look what you've got me doing now. I'm doing tongue twisters. I'm going to be doing a bakery bear, a Mr. Bakery Bear, because everybody needs to do at least one bakery bear and or a gelato giraffe. And you know what I'm talking about, guys, because these patterns are amazing. Somebody so kindly, and again, I apologise profusely from the bottom of my heart because your name has been lost in the sieve brain that is hiding behind this hair. And but I read through the pattern and it was awesome because actually Kay's pattern helped me to do Sanandes cephalopod because she writes it so well with so much information in there. Top pattern, Kay. Thank you so much for all your hints and info in the pattern. And I've got all the bits and pieces for this. I went shopping and I was like, right, I'm going to get all the stuff that it asked for. So all the eyes and everything. I wasn't like, originally, I was just going to grab some stash out of my big pile of stash. Well, I think it's big. You guys, some of you guys are like, please, whatevs. I'm like, this is a big pile of stash. And I was just going to make stuff out of that. And then I looked and I was like, oh, this isn't quite right. Oh, this doesn't quite work. And the one that I bought to make a toy out of was actually a merino single from the ever fabulous Countess Ablaze. And that's not so great when you're trying to do really tight knitting because singles are very, very splitty. Now, you'd think I'd have learnt this by now, but no. And I know Ellie is sat there at home going, James, what are you doing? That's ridiculous. You wouldn't use a single for making toys. Oh, I know this now. So don't try that, which means that then the yarn I'd originally bought with that in mind, gone out the window. That's going to be something else pretty at another point in time. Hey, people have birthdays and there's next year, right? So instead, I was like, I have to go and buy everything. So I made myself a shopping list off the patterns and I bought everything that I needed to get. So I can show you all of those bits. I've shown you the dandy cephalopod ones. I'll show you the bakery bear ones that I got in a little while. So I'm going to make a bakery bear. I'm also going to do now originally it was made as a dice bag and it's supposed to look like this beautiful flower petal. But I showed it to my sister. I made it for a friend. I showed it to my sister and she went, "Oh, that's the egg sac from Alien!" Because we're both big sci-fi nerds. And she thought it was amazing. So of course I had to go and buy some black yarn and I'm going to make this dice bag in black to look like the egg sac from Alien. Now if you don't know what I'm talking about, what are you doing? You have to go and watch the Alien film. You don't have to go and watch Aliens, Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection, because there are 4 films, and you know what it's like. After the first one, things kind of start to do this. But I love them all because I'm a big fan of Sigourney Weaver. She can do anything she likes. She is just, oh. So I'll watch them all anyway. Winona Ryder in the 4th one, give or take. And who was the guy who directed the 4th one? I think it was a French guy, because I think he's a really good director as well. But hey, tangent. I need a squirrel, you guys. I need my squirrel, my not come knit with a squirrel. What's my alternative? What can I have as my squirrel? Maybe I can have the cephalopod. Thank you, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, yes, that guy. Director of... Isn't this awesome? I can crowdsource Google stuff, it's brilliant. I don't even have to look it up on my phone. So this guy, not quite squirrel, octopus. It kind of works. Where was I? Alien film, exact, yes. So... Oh, yes. Is it time? I'm mid-story, dude. You can't just throw that at me. I have never got my timings right. I just talk and talk and talk until I run out of things to say. These guys know this. You don't. You don't realise what you've signed yourself up for yet. He was like, 4 hours, no way. I'm like, we started late, we finished late. I'm not quite sure I can wing it, but we'll see what happens, right, guys? Egg sac. Oh, yeah, there's a surprise for that egg sac, but I'll come back to it. Okay, so is anyone harassing me then? Are you guys harassing me on social media? Because now I'm going to be looking. Writing in the chat and knitting colour work at the same time. Emma, you're as insane as me. I'm going to try and knit and talk, and you're going to try and knit and chat, knit colour work. Hats off, lady. I want to see a photo of that at the end, because if you manage it, I will take my hat off to you. Pengarama, thank you. Dave, I am looking good, you're right. Cheers. Do you know what, guys? You might not realise this, but actually, I had a haircut for you guys, just for the live episode. I got myself fancied up. Now, I know you can't really tell, because quite frankly, I look like a Muppet even after I've had a haircut. But it's slightly shorter Muppet, which I think makes all the difference. E. Catherine for love. Now, there's somebody I don't see around often, so hi! A combination of the sheltered and worm hat. Awesome. Oh, I love the colours on that. Wicked. Oh dear. Oh, I have beautiful eyes. Not in this photo though. I look like some kind of... Do you know what I look like in this photo? You guys go on Instagram and look at I Knit You, all one word, spelt as it is, I Knit You. She's got a photo of my face on the TV. I feel like I'm in some kind of either harrowing documentary about survivors of some terrible disaster, or someone from Twilight. It's I don't know why, but it's that look in my eyes that says "Save me." Clearly, I'm still calming down from all the excitement. Oh, and then we're back to yes. Okay, I've seen those already, so that's fine. And I hope I've been liking as I go down, because that would be awful of me. Oh, Crystal. So wish I could join in. It will only play for 1 minute on my phone and then freeze up. Oh, Crystal, no. Oh, and beadroom jewellery as well. Okay, so we need to repost the link, guys. Can somebody repost the links all over the place? Because some people have lost it. That would be awesome. Thank you. And I don't know why Miss Tanscrafty, who I think is... Tanya, yes. Is worried, is telling me that she has a dirty mind, but I'm just going to let you have that one to yourself, Tanya, okay? We're keeping it PG today. Okay. Oh, is Dave doing the... Dave is doing the Sword of a Knitter. Good on you, mate. Good on you. That's for later, potentially, if I survive this long. Oh, dear, what's happening in the chat? Oh, someone's saying, are we all seeing the ads at the same time? That's not good.
There shouldn't be any ads.
There shouldn't be ads.
And if they are, they won't be seeing them at the same time. They'll be seeing them every 15 minutes from the moment they started watching.
Oh,
But there
no.
shouldn't be ads.
Well, if you guys are seeing ads, I'm really, really sorry. We think that you shouldn't be seeing them. But no. Oh, you know, Catty says she doesn't have ads. Awesome, thanks, Catty. But Knitting Mummy is seeing them now, apparently. So I have no idea what she's seeing. Can you see me as well, guys? Or do I need to like stop every 15 minutes? I'm hoping it's like some kind of scrolling thing and you can still see me, or at least hear me, or in some way communicate with me. Don't go away. Oh, and Mrs. Neely Johns is finishing up some birthday leg warmers in a fantastic array of rainbow colours. Those look gorgeous. I will have those, please, thank you. Yeah, you can give them to me instead. Right, if I've missed anyone else, oh, there is the other chat thread. There we go. 82 messages in the other chat thread. I guess I'd best jump in then and see what you guys are saying. Oh, bless you guys. Look at this. You're doing great. Ads are bearable. Stop worrying about us, James. You're doing fab. Yes, we can handle the ads. I don't have ads either. Ads are no problem. You guys, you see, this is why I love you guys so much, because you're awesome. You hang around waiting for the podcast, even when it's late, and then you leave me lovely messages telling me not to worry about it. You guys rock. You are the best. You are absolutely the best. I love that I get to tell you this like as you're chatting to me. That's my favourite thing about this so far. There's some forum posts as well. I see hello from Ottawa. Let's see what else is at the bottom here. Oh, it's on the next page. It's on the next page. Quick. Go across to the next page. Do, 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 do. This is the loading dance, by the way. I actually have a loading jumper somewhere. I threw it on the floor. Is it? Oh, cheers. So this is what I was wearing earlier today, and I actually now think I should have kept it on because, quite frankly, is this not appropriate? This would have been a good jumper to be wearing. I went for the hand knit one because I thought, you know, you guys appreciate that. But that was what I was wearing on the drive up, was loading. Do. Yes, it will go on YouTube. Yada, yada, yada. Yes, I am checking for questions, Juliana. And if you could spin the yarn for a sweater, what fibre colour pattern would you choose? Oh, pattern's easy. I have a whole load of jumper patterns in my queue. I have no idea when I'm actually going to manage to knit any of them, but I have a whole load of them in my queue. So one of those, spin, to be honest, if I was spinning the yarn for a sweater, actually, I'd want a super bulky pattern, really, wouldn't I? Because otherwise I would die. That's a lot of yarn to spin. I'm only a beginner. I've not even spun 100 grams yet, never mind 1,000. Yeah, this torso, this needs about 1 kilogram of yarn to cover up, dudes. Colour, have you watched my podcast? Orange, probably some grey. Brown, green and blue, maybe. There's actually a really nice pattern in the book I showed you guys, was it last week or the week before, which is the Stitch and for Men book, and it's called the Hacky Sack Hoodie. Photographic memory, guys. And, what's his real name? Is it Darren? Andy? Bear Knits on Instagram, anyway. He's made one already. He posted some photos of it, and they look amazing. But it has like this really colourful stripe across the middle and on the arms, which is usually knit in the pattern with Noro Kureon, which is the Japanese for crayon. I think that's kind of cool, right? So Kureon. Noro, why am I doing it in a French accent? This is the plague, where everything I say in a foreign accent has to be French for some reason. Kureon. No, I can't do Japanese. Let's just move on. But it has a stripe of Noro across the middle. So maybe I could do like some blue, green, orange, and then a grey body or something like that. That could be quite nice. I'd quite like that. With a hacky sack hoodie. What fibre? Something soft and easy to spin. With a very long staple length that would go into quite a thick yarn easily. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking BFL would probably be a fairly decent choice. Cheers. The guys know I'll talk with my mouth full, it's fine. And what else? Corriedale? Ellie, tell me what fibre I need to use, because I know you'll know. So whatever Ellie would tell me to do, actually, that's what I would go, Ellie, what do I need to do to make a jumper's worth? And she'd go, do this. I go, thanks, mate. I actually brushed my teeth before the podcast, so I didn't have a mouthful of dirty food for like special zoom in things. And now he's throwing chocolate at me, and like a douche, I just went, oh, because you throw chocolate at me, where's it going to go but here? Yeah, that made these guys laugh as well. Okay. Oh, bless.
Stop looking at your social media.
Right. I've got to stop looking at social media now.
10 minutes. Go back to social media in 10 minutes.
Stash love. I feel like we're right on it. Do you know what? I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to put my feet up and just relax for a second because quite frankly, that's what we all need to do, isn't it, from time to time? Just chill out. Abs of steel, this is. Abs of steel. This is Pilates, this is. Which I will come back to later as well. A bit of Catty's tea there. Have I quite finished? Oh, you git. I was doing fancy things, but apparently you weren't getting to see them. Do not have a fight with your producer. They will win. So, Stash Love. I think this is my box of Stash Love. But I also have some other bits and pieces, so I'm going to pick up my post-it notes. Because I came prepared, guys. I actually did like preparation as opposed to just writing in my journal and then rocking up and recording because I can press stop and then go and fetch stuff. Now, I had to actually think about what I was going to say in advance. You wouldn't necessarily believe it, but I did. Also, what do you reckon? Do you think I am talking 95 million miles an hour, or do you think that I sound normal? Because quite frankly, to my ears right now, I think I sound like I'm on speed. So, gorgeous, gorgeous Stash Love. I'm going to start with some awesome, awesome stuff I got from Ginny, who is Merla Fiber Arts, and she was the Kickstarter that I was telling you guys about. Sad face, it didn't quite work out. Now, I don't know if that was just there wasn't enough time or what have you. I've not had a chance to chat with Ginny since I saw that it didn't work. But she still sent me some lovely things, which was ever so kind of her. This is, you can buy these things from her shop anyway, if you want them, even if you don't get, obviously if the Kickstarter doesn't come back or what have you. I don't know what her plans are now. But this is silk that has been felted and then I'm pretty sure put onto some padding or felted onto the padding by the looks of it and then turned into an awesome little project bag. And the idea is it's on the go, so I can hang it over my arm and be knitting from it and what have you, which is her design. This thing is so soft, you could just cuddle it. I'm just going to have a moment with the bag now. This thing is squishy, squishy, soft. And of course, she did it in a gorgeous orange colour for me. I've got a bit of fluff on it there. Just throw that on the floor. It's not my house. But she also included, and this is basically an insta-win with me. If you do this, you know that I'm going to love you. She sent me 2 skeins. This is one that I've kept in sort of skein format of 100% merino worsted. And this was perfect because I opened the parcel the same day as Josh released his pattern and it calls for 2 skeins of worsted yarn. And I'm like, bingo, insta-match. So I didn't even have to think about it. But it's called, the colourway is called Dancing Geek Reverie. And whenever anyone does something like that, you know that you get the extra love from me because that is so, so sweet. I would love to tell you what the yarn base is. It might be Fiducium or Fiucium or Fiucium. I'm really not sure. I'm going to go with Fiducium and I'm probably wrong. But it's 100% merino. So the base is almost certainly going to be one of Ginny's bases that you can also buy in her Etsy shop. Merla Fiber Arts, that's M-I-R-L-A, fiber spelt the American way, E-R, or the wrong way as we like to call it, arts. And the yardage is about 218 yards. So 2 of these will do me really, really nicely for Josh's pattern. And I've already caked up the first one for day 1. And check this out caked up. Isn't that gorgeous? That is an amazing, amazing colourway. So you can see the yarn has some sort of bright oranges, some sort of darker browny oranges, a bit of yellowy orange there, but then actually caked up. Tasty, 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 tasty. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that knitted. And because you have to have a contrast colour, I've gone for just a brown. This is actually a cotton polyester mix. It's a Rowan yarn. I think it's called Karma, the blend. I don't know what the colourway is. It's just, you know, brown. And it's 80% cotton and 20% elite polyester. None of your drab stuff. This is elite polyester, people. Only the best polyester will do. I don't know what the difference is, but actually what I do know is that this thing is crazy stretchy. So given that it's 80% cotton, you'd imagine it wasn't going to do anything, and this thing actually has a lot of bounce. It's kind of elastic, which means it pulls back like elastic, a bit more than wool does. Wool tends to stretch and move and kind of come back to shape a little bit. This one really wants to pull back, so it's almost like they've done something with the polyester to make it quite strongly elastic, but it does mean it'll be slightly nicer to knit with, I hope, as long as it's not too elastic. If it's way too elastic, I imagine it'll be a right PITA. So this is my little kit bag. I ain't saying what that stands for. It's for the Scarfy Shenanigans pattern by Josh. Day one is today. So we'll see. Maybe I'll cast it on. I haven't even got around to casting on the Bluebird yet. I don't know if any of you guys have decided to try and join in. That's the next one for me to do. So I shall pop those to the side. I did pop them just on here, and I just realised it's really warm because it's next to my laptop, churning out the heat because it's old. So I'll pop them on the side there. Right, more lovely stuff, a little box of yummies. Here we go. Now, I did Instagram these, but I only showed you, well, I meant to only show you one. I actually ended up showing you two. I have four. So these are Ami Eyes, which is by Celtic Lucas on Instagram, amieyes.etsy.com. Now he hand paints these, which means they are pretty friggin' awesome. Now I should know what all the names are for these kind of things, and I can't remember. But it's something like Fire Dragon Eyes or Sun Dragon Eyes. It's on the paper, James, it's on the paper. There we go, Fire Dragon. So these are the Fire Dragon cat's eyes, orange and sparkly. Because quite frankly, if it wasn't orange, you'd be worried about me, right? So there's another pair I've got, and these are the Sun Dragon. So they're very similar, same size, same kind of eye in terms of their cat's eyes, but a slightly different shade of orange. Yummy! So the fire ones are obviously a sort of a brighter, more obviously orange. The sun ones have a more yellow in them, but they're all gorgeous. And there's little white dabs that I thought were like lens flash from the photos. They're not. He's actually painted them in as well, so they actually exist in the eyes and are a permanent feature. Which I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure what it was, but they're absolutely brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to using those. I haven't worked out what I'm going to do with them. And then because I thought I should have a variety of sizes, and because quite frankly, if you're going to shop on Etsy, you don't, just buy one thing, do you? What's the point in that? I also got myself some slightly smaller cat's eyes. Try and hold them up. These are pearlized blue, 12 millimeters. So the other ones were 15 mil. These ones are 12 mil pearlized blue, and they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I think they look a little bit like my eyes. What do you think, guys? Do they look like me? Yeah, I think they do. I'm not convincing anybody in this room. I'm just gonna trust that you guys are with me 100%. And then, because I thought, right, I need some 9 mil as well, just in case something happens and I suddenly need some 9 mils. So I got a 9 mil goodie bag, because Lucas also does like a goodie bag version where he picks for you and you just kind of go randomize. So I got some random 9 mils because there wasn't anything that really, really grabbed me. So I've got these awesome, crazy purple and yellow eyes. And you can kind of see a little bit that they are, they're kind of, some of them are purple with yellow stripes and some of them are yellow with purple stripes. So it's kind of cool. They kind of match as a matching pair. So I think it needs to be like a brother and sister or something like that to make them work. But, oh, there we go, almost. Yay! Oh dear. If something doesn't go wrong, then you wouldn't feel like you were watching something live, would you? There we go, that's awesome. So there you can see the stripes a bit better. I wouldn't want Lucas's handiwork to not be seen. So you can see, yeah, as I said, there's some yellow ones with purple stripes and some purple ones with yellow stripes, which will be absolutely awesome. And I think I will either do like mismatch pairs, which I think would be a bit cool because that's what I tend to do with socks. And then they'd be like twins or fraternal twins or something, or what, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm planning out projects for 2016 right now, really, aren't I, if I'm honest, because there's no way I'm getting this done anytime soon. So that was just a selection of random eyes for toys and what have you. I also have, I did say I got all the bits and pieces for the Bakery Bear pattern. Now for this, as well as the yarn, and I'll grab the yarn bag in a second and show you all the yarns I've got, but they're all Cascade 220s apart from one of them, so they're not as exciting as all of this in my head. But the Bakery Bears pattern, she says to get some beads and some beading supplies in order to do the eyes, and I think that's really smart. She describes in the pattern how you can use the fact that she's done that to get a really good face on the bear. Very clever, clever lady, okay. So I've got a whole bunch of tiny little 6mm beads. If I show them that way around, you might actually be able to see them. And I got some beading thread as well. I did think, you know, just regular thread might be fine, but I was like, it's another £1 or something, and I know I'm going to use them. So loads of little beads for my Bakery Bear's eyes, and an excuse therefore to knit a whole load more of them. And something that I have never even heard of before, which is a beading needle. And they don't come in packs of one, you know, so you have to buy 4 of them, but I'm going to lose one somewhere along the road, aren't I? So that's fine. But these are supposed to be really, really flexible. In fact, I'm curious. I'm going to get them out now, because I basically just dumped them on the side when I got them, because I haven't got around to doing this pattern yet. But let's see. Oh my God, yes, these are weird. So these are like wibbly bits of wire. So you're not your normal needle where it'd be quite stiff. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in terms of how I use these. I think, oh yeah. So it's, oh, I'm sticking it in myself now. They're, yeah, so they split. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit difficult to see. Hey, awesome. Hey, these cameras are quite good, aren't they? Fancy. So the needle splits like that to be able to put the thread through. So I've never played with anything like this before, so this is going to be a brand new one to me to have a play with. But I think it's just awesome that it twangs like that. So that's going to be, do you know what? I think I might donate one of these to my cats to play with, but under strict supervision, because I wouldn't want them to have hold of it. It's too sharp and pointy. Without me being around. I showed you these, but I'll show you them again. The guys here are choking. It's like if you want to hear double entendre somewhere in what I'm saying, that's fine. You do that, but not for me. I'm keeping it clean today. Dave may well be absolutely rolling around on the floor, dying of laughter, and if Kate's watching, she may be as well. So these are just the other eyes that go with octopus. The 50 mils that I got from Etsy, they're just basic plastic backs. Lucas's came with metal backs on mine, but somebody actually asked on Instagram, can you get them with plastic or do they come with metal or plastic? And he said you can do them with both. So if you have a preference, guys, with Lucas's with Ami Eyes stuff, Ami Eyes, oh, it's gone. There we go. Then he can let you choose between the two. So obviously that's the mystery pair I got. Social media time. I've not even got through all the stash. So, let's see if anyone's still giving me love. Yay, Kimberly's here. She's just gone in the chat. Yay, I've worked out how to watch. That's awesome. Oh, and I'm sorry about the commercials for Homespun. Oh, now who is Homespun in real life? I can't remember. Oh, are you guys chatting about the big needles with, oh yeah, they are hard work. I'll talk about them again in a bit. You do have to work quite hard with them. They're not light, although these ones aren't too heavy. And but as I say, I'll talk about it more in later on. And I've also got a section if I haven't just waffled on too much about everything else about what to do if they are too heavy and stuff and it's hurting. And apparently my eyes are more beautiful. I'm not sure who they're talking to there. Your eyes, Kay is soy latte. Yeah, see, now that's who Kay is. Good morning, Kay. I don't know who you're talking about with them having more beautiful eyes. Oh, do you mean the cat's eyes, don't you? Now that's sweet. Bless you. I'm going to assume that's what you mean, even if it's not, because quite frankly, I like the idea that you did mean that, and I'm sure you did really, because you're awesome. That is Catty's tea done, and it was yummy. It was just super yummy. Do we have anything on Twitter? No, Twitter's kind of quiet, which is fine. Yeah, those flexing needles. Maureen at Victorian Studio. Oh, hi! You know when you get like loads of words and a username and then you have to try and parse it before you can work out who a person is? It's Maureen at Victorian Studio. Yeah, beading needles is what you need to look for if you fancy checking them out. And yes, you've spotted the tag. I've got more stash to show you guys. I did get some amazing stuff from FO and Dice. I'll show you that in a bit. Oh, okay. Bead Room is telling me I might need something more rigid. Well, I do have normal tapestry needles that I use for weaving and what have you. I'll see what happens. Maybe I got the wrong kind of beading needle. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Ellen apparently uses Super Floss, which I guess is in replacement of the thread rather than the actual beads themselves, because that might look a little bit weird. And yes, they would be great on Video You Love Me. I do like that pattern as well. Originally, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. And it has grown on me. The number of them I've seen, they have definitely grown on me. Oh, crikey, we're going to have some kind of picture-in-a-picture thing going on if we're not careful. Emma, Amy Eyes. But why are you... Oh, I thought you said you were waiting to order, wanting to order. Do it. They're actually not that expensive. I have to admit, I did it in the... oh, what's it called? That American thing that I'm pretending we don't have in England, despite the fact that we had riots in Tesco's. Oh,
Black Friday.
Black Friday, thank you. I got them in his Black Friday sale, so I got them a little bit cheaper, which meant basically that kind of paid for the shipping. So you just need to follow these guys on Instagram and what have you, and then you get all the deals when they publish them. James the Cat. Now, Catty, I don't know if you know this, but actually there was a cartoon when I was a little kid called James the Cat, and it had a little theme tune. James the Cat, doodle-doodle-doo, he is fat. You can imagine I did not like this theme tune very much. Fortunately, I've always been scrawny, so it never really applied to me, and people couldn't really use it to take the mickey. But then they had plenty of material elsewhere, so kids will be kids. Do you get to meet the significant other? Very unlikely, extremely unlikely. My other half is so internet phobic that he's not even on Facebook.
I've known you for what, 20 years and I've met him 3 times?
Yeah. He's not only internet phobic, he's generally just avoid contact with human beings. No, that's really, really harsh. But he is a big introvert, more so than me. So no, he wouldn't come online and say hi to you guys, unfortunately. But he may be watching at home, and I'm sure he's saying hi to you guys in his head. I doubt he'll have worked out and decided to log on and say hi in the chat. But if he does, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? My rats need somewhere to sleep, so I'll pass on the bluebird. I'm not quite sure what that means. That might be a comment slightly out of context. The skill to put together earth tones. Oh, I'd never thought of it as a skill. Mind you, I'm not saying I have that even, although you might think I do. But basically, I like those colours. So basically, you don't have to worry about matching earth tones. You just have to worry about picking colours you like and then mushing them all together and just checking your eyes don't bleed. If they don't bleed, you're onto a winner. The other thing you can do, and I didn't bring it today, sorry, but if you find stuff in the shops and what have you that has your colours, I sometimes have my little bracelet on with my 4 colours on it, and that'll help you as well with stuff like that. But you can't go wrong with autumn colours. Just grab them all. Apparently someone just yelled at me. I'm not sure who. Adverts and random comments that I don't necessarily understand without the context. So I think I'm gonna end the chat there, guys. You'll have to shout me. Oh no, don't feel bad, Catty. And it was a lovely cartoon. It was only the theme song that people used to sing at me, namely my sister, actually, because you know what older siblings are like. Oh, okay, the floss is to put your bead onto your yarn instead of a crochet hook or needle. Ah! I've still had no idea how you poke the floss through the head to make that work, but awesome. Maybe you can do like a video YouTube or something. Maureen says hi back. That's awesome. Fair dues. Ow! I just beat myself up. Why would I do that? Thanks, Kay, for giving love to my other half. Oh dear. You're doing colour work on Christmas ornaments. Emma, you are insane. Although that reminds me, actually, I haven't even tried to cast on yet, have I? So I need to do some of that. Once I finish Stash Love, then I'm going to do the cast on. So we'll get ready for doing some Bluebird of Happiness casting on. And then you know I'm not going to really manage to knit, but it'll be funny to watch me try. I'm trying to hide this from the cameras now because I didn't want you guys cheating and looking in the box. Catty recently said that she would send me some more stitch markers because you can never have enough stitch markers, guys. I have learned this lesson. Basically, if you're a monogamous knitter and you're only ever going to work on one project, then I'd say 6 to 12 and you're probably okay. However, if you're a knitter that isn't insane and therefore has more than one project on the go, because quite frankly, I think it's only the crazy ones that stick to one project at a time. That or the beginners. Beginners are allowed to stick to one project at a time. I stuck to one project at a time as a beginner. That's just sensible. But once you get a bit more confident, then you need to have like at least 5 projects on the go at any one time, really, which is why you need all the project bags. You know, just makes sense. So Catty said she was going to make me some little stitch markers and send them over. And I was like, yay! So I have a little baggie, beautiful little baggie of stitch markers to show you guys. And these are amaze balls. So I'm going to try and pick them out to show you if I can. Thank you. So the idea here is I try and hold these up with one hand and give you a bit of a background with the other, as we always do. But these are, you can't see them because I'm holding them by the clasp, but these are lobster clasp ones for usually more for things like crochet, but actually they're really useful for tiny things being knit in the round, such as octopus legs. So I used one of these with the lobster clasp to mark the front when I was doing really, really tiny rounds, particularly on Magic Loop, because Magic Loop works in 2 halves. If you put a stitch marker on, it'd always be falling off the needle, or even when I've sort of tried to be clever and put it halfway in a side, as you're knitting along, you lose it. It's just too easy. So a little lobster clasp one on one side, on the front side of your work, and then as you're knitting around, you always know if you've come back round to do another round. And then to go with that, sort of the main little doohickey is this little kitty. Now, the beads are all a beautiful orange. So this may well be a Rory kitty. I haven't decided. Apologies, guys. I can't offer you Rory or Stitch on today's podcast. I wasn't quite up to trying to tout them down the M1 in the car as well as all the knitting. That could have ended very badly. But I have a little kitty to show you on this gorgeous, gorgeous set of little stitch markers. And if you have fallen in love with these stitch markers, there are 2 ways where am I looking? 2 ways that you guys can get hold of some. One, there's a little set in this bag here. Now I've written down to myself a list of prizes that I have for you guys. I still haven't worked out how I'm going to give them to you. So ideas for reasons I should give you prizes, other than just you're awesome and you watch and you're stuck in there. I could just do completely random, pick a name randomly out of the hat kind of thing. We'll see what happens. But there is a set of stitch markers hidden in here. I'll show you them later. Or you can go to, in fact, her Etsy shop, which is on the front of there, which is Knit Sew Crochet on Ravelry. Sorry, that's her Ravelry name. On Etsy, she's Pine Ann. Catty is in the chat group. So Catty, stick your information in the thread for me. I'm having one of those moments where I can't remember anything. Where's your Etsy link on your card? But she has pie-and-ann.com is her website. But if you find Knit Sew Crochet on Ravelry, then she'll link to everything on there. And that's much easier to find it on Ravelry and on Instagram. And Caddy is awesome. So you can buy yourself some if you don't win the prize and you love the look of her stitch markers. So the other thing, which I have saved till last, because when I saw this, I was like, yes. I basically, I got to see it via video chat with Ellie, I think, before the episode. I think she sent me a photo of it or something. And I was like, ooh. And then I saw the episode where they did the, oh, now what was it called? Dyer's Extravaganza, something like that. Anyway, F.O. and Dave and Ellie, very recently, they did this big thing where they gave the same brief, the same prompt to 3 different dyers. Ellie, F.O. and Di, Laura, who is Jinx Yarns, and Kristen, who is Vullenvine. All 3 very cool dyers. Laura and Kristen are in the US, so shipping is a little bit pricey for me. Ellie, however, is in the UK. So when I saw this, I was like, yes, please, mine. And as soon as it went live, 5 p.m. on Friday, the alarm on my phone went off. And I was like, sorry, can't chat. I have to go and buy yarn. So with that, here is the gorgeousness that is Ellie's yarn. I am seriously, seriously in love with this. Oh my gosh. So the brief was the 7 wonders of the natural world. Now, if you've watched the episode, you'll know that the part of that got a bit lost, but Ellie was on it, partly because it was her and Dave that came up with the prompt. Well, no, that chose the prompt from the forum. So she picked the Great Barrier Reef, which is down in Australia. And quite frankly, if this doesn't scream Great Barrier Reef to you, then you need to go and look at more pictures of it, because this is amazing. I love this yarn so much. And I believe, last time I checked anyway, there was still some more of this left in her Etsy shop. And it's not expensive, guys. Grab some, because quite frankly, if you don't, and I go back and look at her shop, I will be broke, and it'll be all your fault. So you have to go and buy some for me, please. Please save me. I need money for Christmas. So, comes with a beautiful little stitch marker. Oh, it's so pretty. And a great little tag from Ellie. Great Barrier Reef. It's on their Galen base. What does the word Galen come from, actually? Where's that from, Ellie? But it's 75 or 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon, 400 meters. So it's a great big hunking skein. I love that. I'm gonna pop that back in here for the moment and try and, because I've not opened this up yet, I kept it all pretty for you guys to show on the podcast. And apparently Ellie uses double knots. So give me a second, because I'm not cutting this out. There we go. Right. So I can get it out and show you it in all its glory. Oh, check out this. I am so in love with this yarn. So basically I broke my yarn diet entirely for this. I was like, yes, I can't buy any more yarn. I've gone crazy this year. And then this was just like, no, I'm buying that. If I have to go and actually, you know, like get a job or something ridiculous to pay for this yarn, then I will do. But who wants to go and do something stupid like that, hey guys? Ah, dearie me. I mean, it would cut into my knitting time. So thank you, Ellie, for making that. That is amazing. And there is still some of that left in the shop. She also gave me, as I showed you guys earlier, the cranberry pomegranate tea, which is my next one to try in a bit. If I drink too much tea, as you guys may remember from a few podcasts back, then I'll have to run to the bathroom. And we haven't made any kind of, something's gone wrong, quick, cut to video. So there is no safety net. There is nowhere I can run. I'm just going to have to grip hard. Pelvic floor muscles guide. And some, was that inappropriate? I don't know. And she sent me a lovely candle. I have no idea. It smells, but I don't know what the scent is. It might just be candle wax, but I don't think it is. So thank you, Ellie. I will burn that maybe next week, actually, in my little cubby hole, and then it will stink my little cubby hole out in a good way. And I'll be able to tell you guys what it smells like a bit more, because obviously it'll smell more once it's on fire. And that is all of my stash love. So let me just check my little list here, because I have to make lists when I'm prepping this stuff. Have I told you about the awesome stuff Ellie gave me? Yes, I have. Ellie's shop is foanddie.etsy.com. Catty, I have shown you Catty's stuff, and her shop, I'm not sure about. Check the thread, because Catty now should hopefully put her shop in there. But she's knit sew crochet on Ravelry, so you can go and find her shop that way. Ginny's stuff I showed you, who's Merla Fibre Arts. I'm assuming she's .etsy.com as well. I can't quite remember. And I've shown you all the toy bits. The yarn! You see, this is why I make a list. I need to show you guys that don't show them the list. The cascade yarns I bought and something else. And, you see, Stinky. Bless you, Stinky. Bless your heart. And I know I've seen you in the chat. So I know you're there.
We can go back to our social media section now because it's 20 minutes.
But I'm not going to. Because I just want to say thank you to Stinky first before I see you in chat, Stinky. Because she actually bought me one of my patterns from my queue, which was the little toy bunny. There's more I can say about that pattern if I can remember to bring it up, because there's a whole story about the designer and everything, which is really kind of cool. But a big thank you to Stinky Flute, Stinky, for my bunny pattern. Behave! For my beautiful A Boy's Bunny pattern. And I will do the yarns later on, which is somewhere in the ether here. I've got a bag that I don't know what that's from anymore. It's all going to chaos. Oh no, actually I will put these back in their bag, because do you know what? I didn't even finish showing you my buttons from Catty. Okay, never mind. I'll come back to those and the yarns in a second. So, any more messages on the social medias? You want me to sing Christmas carols?
Dear God,
No. Bless you. Oh. Maybe. Maybe. Do you know what? The thing is, I did used to sing in choirs as a kid quite a lot. But in a choir, you are not the only voice. I once tried out for a solo part in a choir. But what I didn't realise was the particular choir I was singing in was quite high quality. I'd just gone along and joined it because it was the only one going at my uni. So then they were just like, yeah, okay, you can come and audition. So they do it one by one, you wander in. I didn't know what was going to happen. And they play like a chord on the piano and go, sing the middle note. And I'm like, sorry, what? Can you play it? I'll sing it. So I had to find the middle note out of a chord, which probably resulted in me just going, ah! And then they were like, right, sing this music, sight reading. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. I need practice and rehearsal time. So I very quickly went, la, 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 la. And then I said, okay, thanks, bye. But it wasn't a traumatic memory, because I had a really good time actually singing with those guys. And we sang one of my all-time favourite choral pieces of music, which is the Chichester Psalms. And I can't remember who it's by. I'm impressed I can remember the name of it. But it's in Hebrew, I think, and it is amazing. But the first note of the whole thing was a top B flat, I think, which, because I was singing tenor at the time, which basically meant the very first thing you did was you took a big deep breath and then you let out a squeak as high as you possibly could manage. And then you carried on. It went uphill from there or downhill from there, I'm not sure. Oh, who's filming me? It's a good question, Kimberly. Yeah. So I have Tamia, who gets to run off to the toilet, who's producing, who is my mate from sixth form, and it's his house we're in. He's lent me his house as well, and his lovely wife is with me here. But then also their friend, and you know where I do this whole thing where I forget people's names after I've met them? Alex. Okay, so Alex is filming on this camera as well, and it's fancy, guys. They've got 2 cameras, and they're fancy cameras. If you see my Instagram photo, the stuff is intimidating. Oh, thank you, Stinky. Pie and Anne on Etsy. So Pie and Anne. P-I, pie, not P-I-E. It's mathematical pi, like the symbol, like that. Pie and, one spelled out, and the name, A-N-N-E. Pie and Anne. It's a good enunciation test, that, isn't it? Pie and Anne. What's the one from the film? The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly... No, I'm not going to. I want to now, and I'm not going to. I'm teasing you with it. Sing Buffy. Obviously, when I sang Buffy to you, Catty, 1, that was private. Shh. And 2, I had the lyrics up. It's a long time since I've sung the Buffy musical, but quite frankly, if the DVD was put on, I probably could sing the whole thing along with it. Ode to Joy. Oh, yes, Ode to Joy is a good song. In fact, when I was little, I did keyboard lessons, and they did a show, and we had to do like a little party piece kind of thing. So I did Ode to Joy, and what was clever was that I did broken chords on my left hand, which basically meant instead of going dung, I went dung 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 dung, and so on. And it was actually pretty straightforward. So can you imagine going and doing a performance where you kind of think that what you're doing is kind of lame? Because that's what it felt like. You're like there going, why? Nobody wants to sit and listen to me do this. And of course what it was all the kids from the music school and their parents. And the only thing that is worse than having to sit to a dance recital as a parent is having to sit to a music recital. Because at least with a dance recital, you've got lots of people to watch and some people are good. With a music recital, it's usually one person at a time and most of them are going to hit something off key. So you sit there going, la la la, ee, la la la, ee. Half the time it was not good. Oh, that, and they didn't tell me I needed to wear a tie. So basically the guy backstage rips off his tie, puts it around my neck, garrots me, and then pushes me on stage. I'm like, yeah, good prep. So, yay! Chelsea's here. Hi, Tokyo, konnichiwa. You have no idea what's going on, don't worry, neither do I, neither does anyone else. I am so chuffed that you've made it. That is so, so cool. So guys, we have like the whole globe watching this. I'm not going to think about it too much. I will just freak. But it's made me so, so happy. Thank you for chatting in. Thanks for jumping in there. Ali's Kitty jumped on the keyboard. We all know your pain. We all know your pain. It was almost poetic. It's like ding, 4, 4, 4. I like it. It's cat poetry. Cat poetry. Gaylon is our cat who was named after a character in a book by Marion Zimmerman Bradley. She's the one. Is Marion Zimmer Bradley the one that did all the King Arthur novels? I have a random feeling I've read one of her books in French. Because, you know, why read a book in English that's written in English when you can read the French version? But I could be completely wrong. Apparently it's from a book called Priestess. So now we know. Cheers! And yes, drinking wine definitely counts as snacking. Chocolate is a vegetable, and carbs don't count. Oh, Tina. Oh, Tina. You want to see dance moves. Dancing and singing. This is a knitting podcast, guys. Plus, I'm mic'd up. I'm not entirely sure what would happen if I tried to strut too much of a move. Ave Maria. Oh, Ave Maria is amazing. I'm not even going to attempt to sing that. Okay, my phone's turned itself off. Give me a second, I can't see Instagram. No! Oh, there are some. Yay, Tina, Queen Bussick. Hot tea, knitting, and my puppy on my lap. Oh, I'm jealous. I don't have my kiddies with me. Rusty orange is definitely the right colour to be working on. That's to I Knit You. I should check what your name is again. Moira, you see. I'm sorry, Moira. I do know your name. See, what I've learned is you're Roxanne on the Ravelry. Why do you need to have 3 names, Moira? Why are you being selfish? 1 will do. Maybe 2. 3. I think you're just trying to set me up to fail there. I think you're just trying to make me work harder than I have to. Lucy Needs to Knit, apparently working on something that looks like it's either stockinette or garter. Very, very smart move. That's what my blankets are if I get around to actually knitting on them. Oh, no way. I think, Ellie, is that Neve on Dave's arm? I can't quite tell, it's the back of her head. But yay, hi. So Ellie's daughter's watching as well. Oh, this is awesome. Trying to knit whilst watching. Yeah, I'm about to try and knit whilst talking. So you guys can tink back with me next week, yeah? Eating popcorn. Popcorn also doesn't count. That is awesome. Oh, Fish Lips Kiss Heels. Definitely an awesome pattern. And yes, you're right. That shirt was very, very, very apt. Oh my God, you guys are all over Instagram. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up. I feel like I need to get back to knitting. I'm giving you all likes. I've run out of time for Instagram. Quick Twitter check, because someone's tweeted me, and then we'll do something else. Because there's only so long you can stand to sit and watch me sitting here staring at a screen. Oh, Chelsea, I love you. Back at you, Chelsea, back at you. And yeah, you and me both. Yeah, sleep. I have to get up stupidly early tomorrow. Well, not 4 a.m. or even 6 a.m. early, so I can't really complain with you guys here. I'm just going to have to just suck it up. But I have to drive back up to Nottingham tomorrow morning. Oh, I love you guys. Yay. You're doing your cardio. Is that meant to be cardio, or is cardio a pattern? Homespun life. Do you know what? I don't know your real name. I recognise you, but I don't know your real name. Oh, yay, more followers. Awesome. Okay. So, I had a little bit more stash love to do with you guys. And then I'm going to cast on the Bluebird of Happiness. And given that I've already done, what, about an hour and a half? I'm not going to get much knitting done, am I? Actually, no, it's like, what was the chances of me doing anything other than blethering on for 4 hours? And I love that word, by the way. Helen, blethering. Awesome. So, as well as the lovely, lovely stitch markers, Catty also got me some awesome, awesome little badges. So there's a tiny little sheep with dangly feet, which is just little dancing sheep for you. We go, do, 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 do. There you go. The sheep's dancing for you guys. I might not be, but the sheep is. And then there's some chickens. I'm not sure if there's a reason for the chickens, but they're awesome. So, you know. And then obviously, well, I say obviously, I'm assuming the badges are meant to go this way around, the buttons are meant to go this way around and not that way around. But I'm assuming they're meant to go that way around, Catty. So thank you very much for my little buttons as well, which I'm guessing now, you see, what I can do is I can put these, say, on my jumper for the Bakery Bear, because the Bakery Bear pattern comes with clothes and everything like that, which is wicked, right? Well, it comes with the pattern for clothes. It doesn't come with the clothes. You have to make the clothes as well, but that's half the fun. So I can use the buttons for that. I don't know what I'll use the sheep for. Maybe I'll just turn it into something to wear on the podcast. I think that'd be kind of cool. A little sheep brooch. Like my Herdy one that I showed you guys a while ago. Because that was really cool. So thank you for those, Catty. And I'm pretty sure, when I show you Catty's prize, I'm pretty sure there's some extras in there as well. But don't quote me on that because it's in an opaque bag and I haven't looked at it in a little while. Right, so the last thing was yarns, which I know where that is because I'm super organised. It's in my Countess Ablaze tote bag. Everybody needs a Countess Ablaze tote bag, only £3 from countessablaze.com. Or is it .co.uk? I don't know. Quite frankly, just buy her yarn. The tote bag is the optional extra. But in here I have all the yarns that I went out and bought for my Christmas knitting. Alongside the huge bag of yarn, which I'll have to show you guys in a second. It's dramatically smaller than it was last time. Let's see if I can do this without making it take. There we go. I've got it. So I'll put that one on the side for a second. So I've got 4 colours. So this one is going to be a bakery bear. And you know what? I'm pretty sure they're not watching, so I'm just going to say who they're for and everything. And if you're watching, guys, it's your own fault. You spoil your own Christmas, yeah? So octopus! I've got a friend whose favourite colour is green. And she is getting my cephalopod. I've got a friend whose favourite colour is red. And he is getting a red teddy bear. And that is very appropriate for him because he has a nickname with the word bear in it. It's not rude. And both of these are made out of the Christmas colours, which I thought was kind of cool because they are boyfriend and girlfriend, two of my besties. And she loves green and he loves red. And this is Christmas green, Heather, and this is Christmas red, Heather, from Cascade 220 on their normal non-superwash base. So that's going to be an awesome little pair of toys. This one, as I mentioned earlier, is the jet black soul-sucking death colour, which is going to be the face-sucking egg sac from Alien. This is going to just be the bag itself in black, and then it has a pull cord, and I'm going to make a tiny little amigurumi alien face hugger. So if you don't know what I mean, just go and Google face hugger and alien, and you'll see they're creepy as heck. But I'm going to do that in this colour because I thought it was kind of a sort of a dead flesh kind of colour. It's a bit gruesome. I can't remember what it was actually called. It was something awfully pleasant. I'm sure dead flesh wasn't what they called it. But I was going for a creepy colour for the alien, and it's going to have a very long tail, which is then the pull cord around the dice bag. Design. Hey, I'm feeling fancy. I'll try and make it in time for Christmas. You never know. But I'm also going to use this colour to make the little hat for my octopus, like that. So he will have a hat of that colour, which I think works okay. And he's going to be potentially the inside the ear colour for the teddy bear. So I'm making the most out of this colour. He's getting a lot of use because I'm not going to use much of any one. And there are 220 yards of this stuff, hence the name, if you hadn't worked that out before. This one, I've forgotten what it's going to be. What was I going to make out of you? Purple? I don't remember. But my sister loves purple, as do some of my friends. So it was probably something for her. And probably another toy. I haven't worked it out. It's fine. I've got loads to knit before I have to worry about what I'm making her again. But I've got a bunch of things I'm hopefully making her, so that's not a problem. I'm not going to worry about it. See, this is my I'm not stressed at all face. I'm totally chill. So loads and loads of Cascade 220 because Kay is awesome and recommends super yarn for knitting toys with. And this is so much easier to knit a tight gauge with. Massively, massively easier. I mean, obviously the other thing I was knitting with was a single, and that doesn't make life easy. But I was finding it really tough on my hands as well. Like it was really rough to knit with. And it was, I think that was 100% merino. It was one of my Countess Blaze purchases from when I went to visit. This is just 100% pure wool. I think it's Peruvian Highland wool. But it slid off my Novas, my metal needles, so easily that even knitting at sort of a tight gauge, so that the filling isn't coming through at all on that. You can see there's no filling poking through. And absolutely no problems. It was as easy as knitting normally, which was absolutely brilliant. So thank you, Kay, for that recommendation. You just made my Christmas knitting so much easier. I am very, very, very grateful. So guys, if you don't have a bakery bear or a gelato the giraffe, then you need to get one. However, Kay, I am gutted. Jelly the giraffe was obviously the superior name. And then her ice cream shop was going to be Jelly and Ice Cream. What happened? Well, what happened to that idea? That was the best idea in the world that I came up with. Ah, well, never mind. So, gelato giraffe. It's very fancy. Gelato. If you can't tell, I can't do an Italian accent either. Everything comes out French. So I think that is all of my stash. Yes, I've done all of my stash, love. Which no, I haven't. Almost. Third time's a charm. Last one. So this is just a nice, simple yarn. It's a Wendy, I think. Yes, so it's 70% acrylic, but it's 10% wool, 20% alpaca. So it should be Quick, easy knit because it's a super chunky. Very washable because it's 70% acrylic, so it says it can go on a mild wool wash, 30 degrees. Because I'm knitting it for a non-wool knowledgeable family member, and I'm going to just knit up a nice chunky thing. They also are a fan of purple. There are a lot of people in my life that love purple, and they love snowboarding. So if you're watching, you know who you are. So something nice and chunky and soft around the neck, and it is very skin softable, skin wearable, so they won't be worrying about that because they are male and therefore, like me, super fussy because, as you know, chaps, when it comes to knitting, are super, super fussy about if it's scratchy, we just won't wear it. It's a stereotype, but it's based a lot in truth. Okay, so I want to do my bluebird of happiness. The other thing I want to do, and this requires a little bit of a check-in with my producer as to whether we can do it, was I did want to try and do at some point some kind of call-in thing, he says. Is that still an option? Because we were going to hopefully do that, and then as you guys know, the tech kind of didn't quite work. So I've set that as a little challenge for him whilst I do this. But I'm going to make this particular bluebird of happiness out of my leftover yarn from Bucephalus the cephalopod. Because it's the right gauge, it's a nice worsted weight yarn. I know it's going to be good for working with for stuffing, and I don't have another plan for this Christmas green heather, and it's Christmas green, so it'll make a nice little ornament. So I don't know what you guys are knitting, but I'm about to try this. Now I did read the special notes beforehand, but I haven't looked at the pattern beforehand other than to look at it and go, crikey, this doesn't look too bad, but we'll see what happens. So it just says cast on 18 stitches. All right then, let's do that. 18 I can probably manage to do with a long tail cast on. That shouldn't be too hard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now, can I talk and keep count at the same time? 8, 9, 10. I apologise now if you guys are counting stitches at home. You might want to wait a second whilst I count these out loud, or put me on mute. 11, 12, 13, 14. Now with a long tail cast on, if you don't already know this, you do need to fluff the tail every so often because it actually somehow unwinds the tail. And I've lost count. There we go. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Awesome sauce. Onto 3 DPNs. No, I'm not doing that, but I am going to do it magic loop because it won't work otherwise, will it, James? No. So what else can I talk about whilst I'm doing this? Well, this was my knitting challenge to see if I can manage to do an ornament in the podcast. However, since I've started an hour and 40 minutes in, I've not really given myself the best of starts. I need an extra stitch on this other needle. Gone wrong already. Never mind. So like I said, I was hoping I'd be able to do some kind of call-in. Now, if it doesn't work today, I'm not too worried because if you guys like this, then we may, no promises, but we may do this again. And so each time we do, we will learn something new, and we might do call-ins on another one instead. But I'll see what happens. I've left it as a little thing to try with my matey. So what else can I talk about? I've done my naps. Questions. Now there's not a bad one. Let me get them up on the forum actually, because knit all stitches. Okay, I can cope with that. Oh, now this is the other thing. When you do magic loop knitting, you want to make sure the yarn goes over the back needle. So it's behind all your hands that you're working on and it's flopping around there, because otherwise it gets caught up inside the loop that you're making with your knitting. Is that the chocolate orange? Yes, Lucy. There's several bags of it. I bought them as presents for the guys for being awesome and doing this live episode with me. So I'm not going to eat them all. And I'm afraid I'm not giving them away either. They've already been allocated homes. I was looking something up on the forums. What was I looking up? Somebody remind me, quick. Oh yeah, the questions. There we go. Because I made a quick note of what the questions were, but I think actually it'd be better to actually get them in. Because you guys, I went and looked and like the questions thread suddenly got a whole load of love, and I was like, this is awesome. Presumably in preparation for this episode. So thank you guys for helping me out, making sure I've got stuff to talk about. So let's see, the first one that I haven't done before is Anonymous76, who I believe I now know is Amanda. And she says, what is your favourite song or more generally type of music? Now this is really tricky for me, partly because I tend not to have favourites with music. I tend not to be massively... what's the word, like into particular things, with occasional exceptions. So Garbage was somebody when I was at uni that I sort of got really into and listened to a lot of theirs, and the Scissor Sisters. But generally speaking, I don't have favourites. My surname. So, a favourite song, well, the Ponyo theme tune in English scores pretty highly. I'm trying to knit Magic Loop and talk to you guys. This is confusing the heck out of me. Right. No, it's all gone wrong. Keep talking about music, James. I can't do it, it's all gone wrong. You know what, I'm just going to start again because that has gone horribly wrong. Never mind, that's what you can do with knitting, isn't it? Favourite song or music? I basically, with music, it just has to be something that I have to knit to. You need me to sign in, okay. So I'll do this instead. Oh, okay, that wasn't delete. Sorry, Tam, can you? You need to undo whatever I just did because I didn't enter it properly. Anything I can dance to or sing along to really loudly would generally be the win for me in terms of music. Particularly stuff with squeaky voices in it, because I have a secret love for trying to sing ridiculously high, even though I can't anymore. When I was a little kid, I used to basically, and you will know, anyone with little kids will know this, it's a natural weapon for small children is how high pitched their voice is. And I learnt this, and then I would use it as a sort of an offensive weapon against my dad. And he used to be like, oh, he phrased it differently, but basically he was looking forward to when puberty hit. And it did. And I could still sing tenor for quite a while, but I haven't sung for ages, so I imagine I'm probably somewhere in the middle now. That's all right. So Tam's trying to set stuff up for us, but it means that he has to keep asking me to do things, which I'm like, if it means we can have a chat on the podcast, I'm totally up for that. I think that's awesome. So, let's see if a second attempt at Magic Loop and paying a little bit more attention this time will work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oop, hang on. Oh, I miscounted. Did I? 1, 2, no. I'm missing a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15. I've only got 17 stitches. Microsoft. I'm assuming that's the one you want, Tam? Okay, well, when Gmail has come unfrozen, I'll be able to do that for you. Do you want the number?
Yeah.
76. 26. 186. And I'm quite happy reading that out to you guys because I don't imagine you'll be able to do anything with it.
I'm just going to create something.
Yeah, that's fine. Just remember it. Although I can always reset it again, can't I? My God, this is trickier than I remember it being. I'm going to blame it on adrenaline-addled hands. And do you know what I need to do next? I need to do my knitting as a sport section after this. Because, I don't know about you, but my back is starting to kill me. Attempt number, whatever we're on, 2 here. So my yarn goes in between my needles and over the back and not tangled up with the cable. And then I pull out the back cable and let's have another go at this. Now I don't know why last time I started knitting English and I'm not sure why I suddenly went into knitting English style. Oh yes, I do know why, because when I started knitting on Bucephalus the cephalopod, it was really tiny. You didn't cast on very many stitches. And I was worried about my tension. So I started knitting in English because, and this is one of the reasons why it's really helpful to learn both, if you only knit in one style, then if you're only in continental, you've got the speed, but you don't necessarily have some of the control on the gauge quite as much as you do in the English, or at least that's what I find. So I find with English style, I've got much more control over gauge. Now obviously I've been doing it longer and that might be part of why that's the case. But I also think it's the nature of the beast somewhat, because I'm right-handed, or just because of the way that it works where you're wrapping. I think the fact that you wrap the yarn either with a flicking motion or with a whole wrapping motion, a throwing motion, I think that means that you're controlling it round the loop a lot more, whereas when you knit continental, and particularly when it's not something quite fiddly like this. So with this, I'm doing each stitch quite carefully. When you start churning it off and you're just going rattle, 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 you're not, you're not taking the time to check your gauge, but obviously that means that the gauge can become quite variable. Now I'm carefully checking which side my yarn is going as I swap to the second half of the magic loop, because this is where I went wrong last time.
I need you to open up Skype and log in and give me the laptop.
Oh no, he wants my laptop, guys. I don't think I can cope without. I've got my phone, but I won't be able to chat to you guys on the forum for a little while whilst he's sorting this out. Like I say, fingers crossed it'll all be worth it, right? I'll warn you now, you'll probably need to shut everything else down on it because it's not the newest. Oh, okay. So I've almost done a whole round, one round of the Bluebird of Happiness, and it's only taken me 10 minutes. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon I can get this done in the next 2 hours? Maybe not. We'll see. So, other questions. Well, I was looking in the forum for other questions. Excuse me, I'm also doing this tech stuff because, why would I want to make it easy, right? Why would we want to be organised? This is my podcast. You don't want to be organised. Might take a second, dude. Oh, come on, why have you gone tight? Probably because I'm massively distracted. There we go. Can't even get the stitches back on the needle now. Let's see, whilst that's working away, let's have a quick look at some of the other questions. Or at least I would if my machine hadn't ground to a halt. Quickly then, different favourites depending on moods or activities. Yes, massively. I have to be happy to have happy music. If I'm sad, just no music, silence. I don't do sad music, it doesn't work for me. What do I think my favourite music says about me? To be fair, my favourite music is stuff that I can bounce around like a maniac to. So it says that I have Tigger somewhere trapped inside of me. Basically, that is what is going on. Come on, little laptop, stay with me. Right, what am I doing now? Make 1, knit 6. Crikey. This is difficult already and I'm only on the second row. Make 1's all fancy. I think it was knit from the... I'm going to go with knit from below. But I'm trying to do it in the round with magic loop. I have no idea how to do it. Oh, there we go. I found it. Panic over. I found the stitch I need. Right. So, fascinating viewing this is. Fascinating. Aren't you guys glad you stayed up to watch this? Right. Make 1, knit 6. 1, 2, 3. Questions, James, questions. Stay on. What are your favourite 80s children's movies? Oh! Now, we were actually talking about 80s movies earlier with Alex, and Alex has some classic favourites. Do you fancy telling them about your favourite movies, Alex? No? Okay. Dang! Thought I might have got away with that there. Goonies, yes. Goonies is a classic. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, is that it?
No, that's not it.
Just bring up your bloody thing so you can actually talk to them. It'd be nice.
I know it would be nice. I'm working on it. What I didn't realise was that I haven't, for some reason, Skype's uninstalled on my laptop now.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on then.
Oops. Do. I said knit 6, didn't I, guys? How many have I knit? I don't know. I've just gone crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make 1. So, 80s movies.
Terminator, obviously, always has to be up there.
That's not really a children's movie, though, is it? Transformers. Now, Transformers movie was the first movie I ever actually went to go and see at the cinema that I can remember.
Bambi was the first one I remember seeing.
Oh, Bambi was awesome.
Bad time.
Well, it's a little sad in places.
Yeah.
Make 1.
The
3 more to the
80s
end.
movies, though.
But yeah, the Transformers movie. I have then since watched both the Transformers movie, and you know when you go back and watch childhood stuff? Doesn't work, does it? It's not as good.
Gremlins still works, though.
Oh, Gremlins does, yes.
Christmas film.
Gremlins is epic and an awesome Christmas film. I concur. And indeed, all the Gremlin films are absolutely amazing. Now, why is my yarn there?
Not many people know that Roald Dahl was the original author of Gremlins.
They don't, do they?
No,
Roald Dahl wrote Gremlins. Did he really? I remember something about Roald Dahl doing stuff like that. Did he write Gremlins?
He wrote Gremlins because obviously he was a Second World War pilot. So one of the things that they used to always talk about was that when the planes were falling apart when they were flying, the Gremlins were at them. And so he wrote a whole series of stories
How
based
cool
around
is
Gremlins,
that?
which was then taken and adapted into a film. Bit of knowledge for you.
So can they hear you saying that, or do I have to tell them all now what you've told me?
Just
If you couldn't hear, Gremlins were a thing from World War II that Roald Dahl wrote about, and it became a movie.
well,
Awesome.
Gremlins were a thing from planes that used to play havoc with the planes.
With the planes. The planes is the important part. Very important. Have to get that right. Johnny Five. Johnny Five alive.
Oh, of course it was Bonnie Tyler.
Must have been 80s. Yeah, I'm just thinking of stuff that I remember from when I was really, really little. Because I was a babby for most of the 80s. But they're the main ones I can think of.
Ruthless People.
I've not seen that.
Ruthless People. Yeah, well, the Home Alones as well. They were 80s, weren't they?
Anything with John Candy.
Anything with John Candy.
Harry Crumb.
Yeah.
John Candy, yes, definitely.
Oh, come on.
Cool Runnings was epic. What are you talking
That's
about?
just crazy. That was awesome. I loved Cool Runnings.
Mind you, John Candy, is he... Did he do... Yes, he is deceased. He is no longer with us. But is he the one that did Spaceballs? I'm trying to think who John...
Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, yeah, he did Top Gun. I know Charlie Sheen.
He was in Facebook.
Top Gun? No, he didn't. Charlie Sheen didn't do Top Gun. That was Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise. And
Tom Cruise! That's who I'm getting... I'm not good at this, guys. It's names. How the heck are you... I can't remember a thing. Knit all
Anyone
stitches.
else is
Okay.
Top Gun. That's it.
Knit all... Yeah, if you haven't worked out, to me is a little bit airplane crazy. So anything to do with airplanes, such as Roald Dahl facts and films like Top Gun, he is your man.
It's got nothing to do with me being an Arab.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, let's not get the podcast banned, please.
How are we doing on the Skype?
It was installing. It's still installing.
How long do you need?
Another minute, maybe?
Okay, because we just need to change your settings. And
Do I prefer to watch them again or remember them merely with blissful nostalgia? A lot of it is the latter, particularly because I made the mistake of buying, you can still talk to me, of buying Thundercats.
oh,
The DVDs came out of the original Thundercats. It turns out that a TV program, a cartoon, if you've not seen it, it's a cartoon. There's a more recent version that's come out that I haven't seen yet, but I do actually want to go and see because apparently it doesn't suck completely. But that's coming from a fellow Thundercats fan. But I bought the box set and got very excited, and then I put it in, and I managed to watch about half of one DVD before I started banging my head against a wall.
same with He-Man.
Really?
Yeah, gutted, because I used to love He-Man.
He-Man is the same.
Some of
I
the-
remember actually rewatching He-Man in sixth form with you.
Of course, man.
Yeah, we sat and watched YouTube videos of He-Man episodes and laughed at the fact that he has
YouTube,
blonde
it wasn't
hair
YouTube
but
back
black
then.
eyebrows.
Yeah,
The dude dies.
yeah. YouTube didn't exist then. We watched it on VHS, which I had from when we were kids.
Really?
Yeah. It was definitely.
I thought it was on the computer that we watched it.
I might have digitised them, but YouTube didn't exist until 2003
Oh, okay.
or 2.
Okay.
We were way out of school, man.
Oh, webs.
Way out of school.
I still visited you. No, it was around my 21st birthday because it was when we were planning my epic 21st birthday party. This dude threw me an amazing birthday party. Well, we did it together, but he made the invitations, which, looking back now, was almost prophetic because he plastered my head on the body of a sheep. So clearly the connection to wool was there from an early age. That was all over the invitations, like that. Meh.
What else? There was something that I was going to say, actually.
And we rented a barn.
We did rent a barn.
And we got a bouncy castle, which he was in charge of getting. And I was worried it was going to be a rude bouncy castle. No fear. It was a children's bouncy castle with the Little Mermaid on it. To be fair though, I still bounced just all over that thing because I love bouncy castles.
I used to have bouncy business.
Really? Dude! Oh, if only I'd met you sooner.
What's the? There was something.
Having a friend that runs a bouncy castle business would just be epic. Having a friend that comes around and records live video podcasts for you, though, is also epic, so I'm not complaining.
What's the? There was another.
What's the what?
TV show that I was thinking of. The He-Man was all right, but there was one oh so I still watch with my daughter Button Moon.
Button Moon,
every night
guys.
She goes before she goes to bed.
I found a DVD
Yeah,
from property clearance with
you can
Button.
speak up.
With Butter Moon, and gave it to my niece. I think she lasted about 30 seconds.
She didn't like it.
Really?
No, she couldn't get over the fact that the spaceship was a Heinz baked beans.
Yeah. Really obsessed with it.
That's
She's,
part of the joy, right?
Yeah. So she watches that every night before she goes to bed.
Oh, bless her.
She loves it.
I think my niece's words were, "This is rubbish."
How old is your niece?
She was about 2.5, maybe 3.
Oh my gosh! Sassy at that age, right? Nah, mate, this is rubbish.
How's Skype doing?
It's probably installed by now, actually. Yeah, let's have a... Yay, it's installed. So let's have a look. 80s movies, would you sit and watch them today? Nostalgia, yeah, I've answered that. This is a shameful dislike of certain not to be named popular 80s movies. You should name them. You can't leave me hanging, Angry Meerkat. You have to name them. Oh, and speaking of gremlins, Angry Meerkat's dog is named after Spike, the gremlin. Although apparently he looks more like Gizmo in his colouring.
Yep.
But we
Absolutely
love him. So, but we had thumbs up for Princess Bride, Ghostbusters, and Land Before Time, and I concur with all of those.
Yeah, man.
Right, if you need the laptop, there you go.
Have you logged in and signed into Skype?
No.
I need you to do that before you give me the laptop.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've still got. I still have a login for Skype, I'm sure. Oh dear. So I'm going to knit and talk to you guys and log into Skype. This, and I am not a multitasker at all. I've forgotten where I am on the pattern now. M1K7 second half of the round.
6 down, 1 up.
Yeah,
Okay,
6
okay,
down, 1 up.
awesome.
Absolutely. Don't you start as well, dude. I've got these guys shouting out numbers to me in my imagination, trying to put me off. Now I have to see if I've got. You see, I'm probably going to have to request a new password as well because I don't imagine I've got it on my phone at
Well,
the
in that
moment.
case, I'll do it. If you're going to have to request a new password.
Yeah, I think I am. So you just take it. There. That's, you see, why didn't you just do that in the first place? God. So I'm M1K'ing 7 at the moment, and I'm pretty sure I just K'd 3. So hopefully I won't end up with the wrong number of stitches. I was trying to talk to you guys. But yes, 80s movies are awesome sauce. Yeah, we're fans of those. Now I'd hoped, because I'm back at the house, plus 4 makes 7, where I took the photo of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knitting book from. Yes, yes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles knitting patterns. It was epic. I took a photo and put it on Instagram if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Why aren't you following my feed? Why aren't you stalking me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is bad. Why is it 6? It should be 7. I might have to make an extra one, guys. So I'm going to have to count stitches now and just see what I've done. That means I've missed a stitch. Maybe I didn't make one on the knit 6 row. I'm fairly sure I did though. 7, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Man. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Make 1. Oh, so I've got the right number of stitches. The make one's just in the wrong place. Whatevs, right? Yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was going to show you it again and do a little review of it, but they've moved stuff around to make room for their amazing Christmas tree, which I decorated today, and they've done more since, so you haven't seen it in its full glory. But again, there's a photo on Instagram. Chaos stitches, I like that, I can cope with that. But it had jumpers, so it's misplaced at the moment. They had jumpers with I think 3 of the turtles, or like 3 jumpers and something else with the turtles on, and a jumper with Splinter, the rat, on it. And this is the old school 80s cartoon styles. Yeah, none of this CGI. Weird mouths. Have you seen the new movies for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Their mouths are wrong and freaky. Or at least they are in my world. I suppose once you get used to the film for a while, you kind of forget about it. The bit I can't get over is the fact that they've got the same woman playing April as is in the Transformers movies. And it's like, can we please get somebody else? Because she ain't that pretty and she ain't that good at acting. I said it.
Who?
The one that's done the Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The original movie.
Fox.
Yeah, something Fox. What's her name?
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, is that right? Something like that. Anyway, I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, and if you don't, you've got the internet in front of you. Go Google, IMDb it. Now actually is a time where having a little lobster claw stitch marker would be really useful. Putting my advice into practice. This is the back, so I'll put it on the front. Just hook it into a stitch. Like that, very nice. Yeah, and I was just kind of like, ugh. So it just kind of feels like Transformers. It feels like they've kind of got the same cast to do 80s. It just feels weird. It's like, come on, there's plenty of actresses out there. We don't have to have the same one. Or is she the only one that would be willing to do tragic retakes on 80s cartoons? Maybe that's what it was. Oh, man. I imagine Shia LaBeouf will be in there somewhere as well. Although, mind you, he's kind of big-timey now, isn't he, a little bit? He kind of suddenly got a bit celebrity status, so he's probably above doing Ninja Turtles now. Anyway, I can't remember how the heck I got onto that. Oh, yeah, the book. Yes, I can. It's a good job I can, because, you know, if I go off on tangents, I have to then work my way back. M1K8. Okay, fingers crossed the stitch number works now. Apparently I'm knitting a little tight at the moment. It's not a bad thing, it's got to get stuffed, right? Make one, knit 8. Okay, make one. This one requires concentration. That means tongue out, to the side, and I can only talk very slowly. As opposed to getting hyper excited on adrenaline. I have to admit, I do feel like I'm coming down off my adrenaline rush. I got so excited about doing this with you guys. And then, so that like this morning and this afternoon, I have had my adrenaline levels have been up here. And of course, as time's gone by and that initial kind of excitement has waned, and I'm now feeling much more comfortable chatting with you guys like I normally do, the adrenaline's not kicking in as much, and I'm starting to feel that impact, which means by the time we get to somewhere like 11 or 12 o'clock here, I may be starting to do this, but we'll see. I usually wake up again about 10 p.m. Oh, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I nearly went too far. Well, I did go too far, but only by 1 stitch, so that's okay. Make 1 in the stitch below. Now, the instructions for this actually in the pattern, and I can tell you because it's a free pattern, Bluebird of Happiness, says to pick up the leg and put it on the left needle, but that actually, if I do that, I find that and the stitch that's in it start to get mixed up together. So I find that actually harder to do that way and then knit the stitch. So what I do, and I'll just obviously have to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, the 8 in between, and then I'll show you on the third make one what I've been doing. But yeah, so I'm severely tempted, going back to the Ninja Turtles, I'm severely tempted to put on my kind of wish list another jumper of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle jumper. They do have a pattern in that book for cushion covers, which is slightly more reasonable in terms of a project to try and set myself just for the comedy value. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm ready to make one. But I think it needs to happen. And I did check at the time, and it was available to buy, I think, on Amazon or Etsy or somewhere like that for like £3 used. So if you don't mind getting a used copy, you can get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle knitting patterns. I know that right now, at least 4 of you have just hit Google. And quite frankly, I'm right there with you. I don't know why I haven't bought it already, except basically my plan is to steal it from these guys. So for me to make one, rather than picking it up and then dropping it onto this needle, I pick it up knitwise, and usually I find it a little bit easier by turning the work to the wrong side and then putting the needle down through that loop at the back of the stitch that you're about to work. So by going in that way, I've gone in knitwise already, and actually I can then just straight away wrap the yarn and knit through that stitch. Now it's a little loose, but because there's some tension by holding the stitches apart, there's enough tension to knit through without everything getting stuck, and then straight away, bang, knit that stitch. So that's what I would do. I mean, you guys know there's as many ways to knit a stitch as there are people knitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do I end up with 6 again? Oh man. I'm doing something wrong, aren't I? 4, 5, 6. So let me just count stitches a second, because I should have 27, and I've got a feeling I don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7, and there's my make one. Oh, I've worked out what I'm doing. And it's in the middle section, because my make one is below a stitch. I've gone make one and then knit the stitch above the make one and not counted it. So I've done an extra stitch going round in each of the sections. It doesn't really matter, I guess, because you're just doing increases. I don't think it's the end of the world. My Bluebird of Happiness will be a bit squiggly maybe. I can live with that. If I manage to knit anything at all while talking to you guys, I'm going to be super happy. And again, knit all stitches. I am on row 7. Are you guys knitting with me? I check my messages, but I can't see. So the only one I've got access to is Instagram or Twitter on my phone at the moment. So let's see if you guys want to Instagram, because it feels like a while since I've done social media. So if you guys want to Instagram me or Twitter me, I'll still be able to see it. Oh, you're welcome, Kazi. Kazi No No's finishing the blanket. Somebody has Instagrammed me a picture of Westnitz. Well, they've messaged me on Westnitz saying that I need to knit some swants. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure he's even got a crotch on those in that picture, love. That's a little bit risky. But Westnitz has some knitted shorts that pattern out. Recently, his sports shorts. And I have got that queued. I haven't bought it yet. And in fact, Stinky, when she bought me the toy pattern, I say she, I don't know why I think Stinky is a female person, a woman. I could be wrong on that. In my head, I might have assumed you're female. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Uh-oh. Dropped stitch! Let's just pop that one stitch back on there whilst I'm looking at Instagram.
Just look at the camera.
Hello. But yes, I do have the sports shorts. Okay, I think that's done. And I do plan to make them. Although if you watch Come Knit With Us, you can see Kim's that she made. And apparently, I don't know what yarn she used, but apparently they grew in the wash, so they're now kind of saggy. Oh, do I get my laptop back? Yay! Cheers, mate. Oh my god, that's got my scary photo on it. Yeah, actually, I'll do a little side promo for myself, so that totally counts. And it's not even really a promo, but if you guys are curious, I don't think I'm going to dance, rather, on tonight's podcast. But if you're desperate to see me dancing, I do have a website, jamesbartley.co.uk, and that's my dance work website, so it's my dance portfolio. And on there is sort of links to pages and posts about all the projects that I've done. There's a videos tab, so if you click on that, you can see all the video stuff that's been recorded. And if you look for a black and white video, I actually did a music video that was on MTV. That is my claim to fame. And it got loads and loads of views. Almost as many views as my podcast. No, a few more than my podcast, which is pretty cool. So that's the most famous YouTube video that I have ever been in. To some random DJ, somebody or other's music. And it basically was me spending all day in the freezing cold in a dusty warehouse, dancing my butt off. You can see in the video how much hard work it was. Have I done my knit all stitches? No, I think that's next, isn't it? That looks like an increase. I'm going to go with I haven't. But yeah, that. Go and watch that and stick that on in the background. Just for some crazy. If you want to see me dancing, that's pretty epic because, again, that was like properly professionally produced. So they managed to take my awful dancing and make it look quite cool. It was a bit annoying because he wanted to film it and then he said, yeah, can you just stay in this 1 meter square? Now, my problem is I've got long legs. Normally in dancing, that's not a problem because I can travel a stage in about 2 leaps. However, when someone says to somebody with long legs, right, keep within 1 meter square, it was like they tied my hands behind my back and asked me to try and use sign language. I was like, ah! So I got very, very flummoxed and had to go and have a lie down halfway through the day. It was terribly traumatic. Watching me while joining the chat and knitting a blanket. Yay for blanket knitting. I'm going to be knitting a blanket in a bit. I keep saying in a bit. I'm going to run out of time. Can we just keep going, dude? You don't mind if we just keep going, right?
If you want to get up with Raneem in the morning?
Yeah, we'll just keep going until Raneem gets up and then I'll just drive up to Nottingham like that. I'm fine. Ooh, crikey, my computer's doing things. Where am I? I want to see your questions again. But yeah, that's from Gonzo. Dude, I don't know your real name, and that might be on purpose, so apologies that you've called my podcast your favourite podcast, so bless you. You're my favourite too. You're my favourite Gonzo. And that includes Gonzo from the Muppets, who I absolutely adored as a kid. I thought he was wicked. Part of it was because, in my head anyway, and I'm not sure if this is canon, that come from outer space. And I know I've told you guys a bit about much. So, to be fair, I still don't. But bless them, some of them are nice to me, like you guys. So, you keep me sane. But yeah, so Gonzo, you are my favourite Gonzo. I'm fairly sure you're not named after Gonzo from the Muppets. But I could be wrong. I don't know what Gonzo beat Doolars. In fact, now I get the feeling I've read somewhere what it was from. Wasn't Doolars like an author of something? Oh, where have I got that from? Random facts from the back of my brain. Can't remember people's names, but I remember random stuff like that. Roxanne, who is with the I don't know if you guys have read this in the forum, but Moira explained why her name has 2 dots over the I, and it was all to do with kind of like all the different places she's lived in and how all the different people couldn't pronounce it. But the bit that I was super chuffed about, because it was about me, was that the 2 dots were because of French people. And she was living in a French-speaking country, possibly France, possibly Switzerland, possibly I can't remember. And they couldn't understand Moira without 2 dots on it. In over it kind of the words, and they pronounce Moira, because if you think M-O-I in French would be moi. Knit 3, oh gosh, wrap and turn. Oh no, guys. Pray for me, please. Shift the yarn, shift the stitch, shift the yarn, shift the stitch. There we go. Wrap and turn. Done. So I was like, yay, I kind of worked out that it was a French thing. But anyway, she posted under Roxanne as opposed to I knit you on Instagram, is it? Geez, some people so demanding with all these names. Do you have some kind of... Actually, I was going to make a joke there, and then I kind of realised I'm going to do that whole making jokes of disabilities things, and that's not very nice, is it? So I'm not going to do it. I was going to talk about dissociative identity disorder, but that's actually pretty horrific for people that have it, so I'm not going to make a joke of it. Oh my god, no ways! Apparently, I can take callers. Are you as excited as me? So who's still up? So I'm guessing you guys in America are probably still awake. And actually, I know that my Brit friends will still be at there. And I know that Catty's there because she sent me messages today going, I'm going to be there for the whole 4 hours. I'm not sure she'll manage to hang on if we keep going. Oh, now where does my yarn need to be? Because I'm switching needles. Over the back one. Because I'm going this way now. Oh.
Okay, can we see if we can take a test caller? Does anybody want to call us?
Okay, well I have test callers ready and waiting.
Let them start calling.
So, I'm calling on you guys. I'm not calling you, I'm asking you to call me. So this is a shout out for the FO and DI chaps who said that they were going to sit in shifts around the clock, so if I needed someone to call in, that they would be there. So
we're going to have to just let people know that this might take...
I know you guys have Skype, because you did Skype for your Whatsy Doodle, but I need to give you time obviously to get it set up.
Do they know where they're calling?
I don't think they know where they're calling. I'm not sure where they're calling.
Jimbo Bartley?
Is it my Hotmail address?
It's whatever your Skype, Jimbo Bartley. It's whatever you're signed in as there.
Jimbo Bartley. Yes, it is. Oh gosh, so now I have to tell the embarrassing story about why my name is Jimbo Bartley rather than James Bartley.
Jimbo.
Do you guys remember? No. Do you guys know or remember Jimbo and the Jet Set? That's not actually where my name comes from, but that's what Tamir's singing the theme tune to. Well, theme tune. That's what the guy
Eyes
says.
of the hawk, ears of the wolf, Jimbo.
Now you're mixing 80s cartoons references, which is awesome. I'm freaking out about this whole trying to knit. I've wrapped and turned, and I've purled. I'm not quite sure what I need to do now. I'm gonna take a break. But yes, so I am Jimbo Bartley on Skype. So FO and I, call me, please, so that I can have a little chat with you guys. And then if it works, maybe we can take calls from other people who might be willing to do it.
Let's see if I can call you.
Oh, you don't ruin it now. I want my mates to call me now.
Oh, if they can call. When they call, we'll answer. When they don't call, we won't answer.
All right.
We're going to just test it so that when people do call, we know that it's working.
In the meantime, whilst I'm trying to sort stuff out, Roxanne did ask. She knows I like receiving gifts. This is true. Gifts are awesome, and I like getting them very, very much. However, she wants to know what kinds of gifts I like to give. which really puts me in a quandary, Moira. I'm starting to feel like I'm being persecuted here, because now I have to either come up with something really good, or I'm going to look really stingy.
No, you can't answer.
I can't answer.
No, I have to answer for you. That's not the point.
Oh, okay. Well, you said you were calling me.
No, yeah, but not for you to answer.
Okay, I'll not answer.
Leave me alone.
I'll just close Skype down on my machine altogether then.
So, James, if you now...
So what kind of ghosts do I like to give? Ooh, rebound.
Private.
Feedback. The most obvious one is knitted, because I like knitting, and then it's personal. Can you guys hear rebound? I feel like any second
because
now
of
we're
me,
going to get
it's not
squealy
because of
speaker noises. It's alright. I assure you, my friend is actually a professional video producer, and any appearance to the contrary is merely due to the fact that his little one has been poorly. And
Okay, James, now, people should be able to start hearing us.
Oh, do you know what I need? I need someone to call me on Skype and tell me how to do this, because I'm stuck.
James,
Yes.
so the idea now is that we'll be able to talk to people when they call it. So.
Wicked.
Alright?
Okay. So it
So
should
hang
work.
up because it's getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, because we're doing it inside the same room, which isn't smart. But if you guys do it from where you are, it should work. So I want to get my chat window back up and see if you guys are willing. Oh. A few people have had to say goodbye, but that's fine. Oh, some people lost sound a little while ago, but it seems to be back again.
When we were messing around with the...
Okay, so that may have been us, but I think someone else has said it's back now, so that's good. Right, now I need the Ustream chat up as well. But if anyone is up for Skyping, then please do. Oh, there's a one. What's that? Recent chats? Tamir? I don't know. There's a one thing on there. I don't know what that means. Why is there a one on my little icon? Is someone trying to ring me? Well, you know what I said before about challenges. Someone says wear a Christmas hat, I bedeck the halls. Somebody says do a 4-hour podcast, I say let's do it live. I think why not be interactive? I'm like, let's make it a Skype chat. Although to be fair, some of that kudos does have to go to Tam, because he was like, oh, we can do this, and we can do this, and we can do this, which was pretty cool. I got very excited, as you guys saw. Yes, so you could hear guys in the background and stuff, and echoes. Yes, indeed. Oh, there's weird clicking. Some music, apparently.
The clicking was the Xbox.
Okay, clicking was the Xbox. So FO and I, have you guys gone to sleep? Where are you? Why have you abandoned me? You promised me! if something has actually come up and they've had to go somewhere, I'm going to feel really bad for calling them out like that, aren't I? Oh, but I can tell you that Gonzo's real name is Eric. Hi Eric. 2 authors. Gonzo is Hunter Thompson, and Doulos is Jack Kerouac. So it was authors. I knew there was something about authors in there. I nearly poked myself in the head with my needles there. So hey Eric. I have to admit, you're kind of Gonzo in my head because that's what I see come up when I see your picture on Instagram. But I will try and remember Eric. Right, I've got to purl. Well, I need to purl that. So I need that stitch on the needle. I'm just going to try this. It might work, it might not. Am I purling? Yeah, this feels right. It could be wrong. Yeah, I'm just going to go with it. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Oops. Now if I drop stitches, that's a different thing entirely. That's just me being clumsy. Do 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 do. 3. So I've got the oh, okay, FO and I. I'm still trying to finish day 1. Ugh, dude. You were supposed to Skype me. Can't remember my Skype login. Bear with. Cool, Ellen. Give me a shout. And maybe I've got to do the I've got to do Josh's day 1 yet as well. So chill out. Right, what am I doing? That's purl 6, right? So wrap and turn. Shift the yarn, shift the stitch, shift the yarn, shift the stitch, and then turn. I think I've sussed it out. I think because when you turn it, you're effectively, when you turn something and you're in the round, you're effectively working inside out, aren't you? But because I haven't turned my work inside out, I'm working on the far side of the yarn, and it feels like it's wrong. I think that's why it felt like it was wrong. I think I've got it sussed. I could be wrong. The bird body is finished, now onto the head. Christine, I love you, but are you just trying to make me feel bad? Well done, Christine, well done. Knit 3, okay. Apparently this counts as an entire row, so I get to claim that I finished another row by knitting 3. Whew! And I'm back at the beginning of the round. So then it's knit 4. Do you know what? I think I might actually be doing this. I might actually be knitting and talking to you guys. Now what were the other questions? Somebody asked me a question. It was Roxanne was asking me about, gifts I like to give. Yes, and I was trying to say, before the echoes kicked in, that knitted stuff is an obvious bonus. Certain people in my life are super easy to buy for. You might find this as well. My sister and I are very different people, but we have very similar interests. So basically, all we have to do is go, that's cool, buy it, give it. And the other one will love it, which is pretty awesome. I always describe it as she's an artist that's a geek, and I'm a geek that's an artist. So we're both kind of like that, but we come at it from different ends. And she is super, super, super easy to buy for. Knit 4, wrap and turn. Again. Ooh. Oh, okay, I'm wrapping the next stitch. All right. Switch and slip and switch and slip. I thought I was going to be wrapping the same stitch twice there. That felt like it was wrong, but I'm not. Okay. Yay, loads of Instagram posts. Love you guys. I'm not going to do social media yet. My producer has not yelled at me to do it either.
I've just been doing it for the last 20 minutes anyway.
Knit. What did I just do? Knit 4, wrap and turn, purl 8. Oh, okay, I get the feeling we're doing the neck here. And it just goes back and forth. Okay, so let's see if I can get some speed up a little bit on this. But I've got to keep the tension. Other people in my life are not so easy to buy for. One of those people being my other half. Obviously love him to pieces, but his family tradition was very much that Christmas gifts are supposed to be practical. Now there is some merit in doing this. At first I was scoffing left, right and centre at that idea. I was like, what? No. I have since seen some of the merit in doing that. However, I find it really weird to buy practical things for Christmas presents. And we're talking things like an area to hang your clothes up on to dry, or, you know, a new iron or something as a Christmas. And I'm like, no, you do not buy people that as a Christmas present. They can buy themselves that, for crying out loud. Pearl 8, wrap and turn. Switch, 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 switch. I didn't have to stick my tongue out that time. And so why... Well, when I first started having to buy Christmas presents and stuff for him and he for me, there was a little bit of like, no, you can't do that for me. I want a proper, decent present, which is something I wouldn't necessarily buy myself. However, he and I have very different tastes. So trying to buy stuff for him is actually quite tricky. I've got better over the years, you'd think. It's been a while that I've been trying to do this. So you'd think I'd kind of got it down pat by now, but no, not really. Fortunately, every year, he doesn't seem to mind not having a surprise so much. So every year he starts dropping hints around October, and I, very smart that I am, write them down. I don't necessarily go and then buy them all because I'm not that smart, but... Oh, I must be on knit 4, I can't be on knit 6. But I do then have a list to go and buy things from. So, yeah, I'll do that. But the best ones to give has to be something you've made. So I also make jam, because we have our massive raspberry bushes out in the garden, as you guys will potentially have seen from Instagram. Knit 4... Finish knit. Oh, I've already done the knit 4 because that finishes the round. I'm on to knit 5 now. Yeah, I might actually be just making this pattern up now. But you know when you started to do a bit of a pattern and you kind of get a sense for how you think it's meant to be going? Yeah, I'm kind of doing that now. It'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. So, pearl 10, knit 5, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. Yeah, so that's... Ellen, I'm not going to repeat what you've said in chat, but I agree wholeheartedly. Oh no, Zoe, this says the screen's gone black. I hope that's not everyone. Apparently Ellen has sent me a Skype request. Mr. Producer, sir.
A what?
Skype request has come through from Ellen.
Call, don't send requests, just call. You can call without being added. So I only see it when people call.
Okay, apparently you have to call. Well, oh,
don't add.
don't add, okay. So just ring me and then you'll come up, apparently. I hope Zoe's the only one that's getting black screen. Can you hear me, Zoe? What am I doing? Oh, I'm making it up, aren't I? Yeah, I figure I've got another 5 to do. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. This is what I say to myself when I'm knitting. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Just keep going. Trust the pattern. Trust yourself a little bit as well. Ugh. Go on, you dang stitches. So I've suddenly taught myself how to knit inside out when knitting magic loop. So there you go, guys. You just knit. You have to, normally with magic loop, you pull out the back needle and knit across the front needle. If you have to do wrap and turn and go the other way, you would pull out the front needle and knit along the back needle. Little handy hint for you there. You know I love telling you guys stuff when I work it out. Now I'm working it out live in front of you. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got a caller. Five.
Is it
I've done
working?
pearl 10. Wrap. So switch and wrap.
James.
Yeah. Where do I look?
There.
Where am I looking?
There.
Hi.
This is so bizarre.
Yay! I'm going to have to put this down because I'm trying to do a wrap and turn and pay attention to what I'm doing, and that's not going to work. But how are you, Ellen?
I'm just peachy. How are you?
I am very good. I'm not at all freaking out, which is awesome because I thought I might be. Thank you for ringing.
Well, there is some really bizarre echo on here now, honey.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So my rat bed is coming along great guns.
Is it? Excellent.
Yeah.
Have you got pictures
They
on
will have
Instagram
somewhere
for
to
me?
sleep. Huh?
Do you have pictures on Instagram for me?
Oh yeah. I have been merrily tagging my photo, my progress, and if
Excellent.
they comply, you will get a photo of the finished object with the rats inside.
Oh, that would be wicked. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's if they comply. They don't
Well, yes.
really mind.
Never work with children or animals, right? So.
Yeah, that's the one.
What is it you're actually
Cool.
making them why are you trying to make something for 2 adult males? That's curious to me.
Right, the echo is really bizarre. Say that again, James.
What?
Fix the echo.
Okay, Tam's going to try and fix the echo. I
Okay,
will
honey.
speak slowly and loudly as if I am an old person and you are foreign. Why
Just
are you
say that.
making
I thought, no, you
something?
want a PG certificate on this? I won't.
I was wondering why you're making like a little snuggle for 2 rats at a time.
Yeah, James will be with you in just 2 seconds. Sorry.
Have I gone off?
No, you're online, but this
Ah,
is your,
okay.
to eliminate echo.
Hello, is that better? Oh, this is awesome. I like this, Tam. Well done. This is a good fix. I can hear Ellen much better as well. For those of you who don't know, which camera am I on? That one. Cool. For those of you...
Oh no, now we can't hear. Oh, this was ill thought out.
That was Tam. That's my producer man, yeah. Running across camera, trying to sort stuff out for me. Did I wrap and turn? Oh, you see, I tried to pick it up and wrap and turn, and it's not working. Yes. I don't know, I kind of think with crochet, it'd be too easy for you to
You're
To
gonna have to repeat the questions.
go the wrong way
because we're
round.
not getting the audio now on the feed, which is a bit unfortunate.
Okay, well that works. Yeah, totally. Sorry, Tam, you need me to repeat.
What Ellen's saying? Is it Ellen? Sorry. I need you to repeat because now it's going through the headphones.
Yeah.
Actually, bear with me.
Okay, bear with. We do like to try and do things, you know, as they happen. There's this thing called preparation, and we decided against. Well, we didn't decide against it actually. What happened was I was going to come down a couple of weeks ago, and we were going to do all the tech stuff, and then small children happened. Never worked with children and animals, and as a result, that didn't happen. Which means all of this stuff is happening right now whilst I'm talking to you. So is Ellen still there? Are you there, Ellen?
She should be.
I can't hear anything in the headphones.
Well, tell Ellen on camera that we would be with her.
Oh, okay, no, I'm getting a bear with, so I think Ellen's just busy now as well. I am, can you hear me? Yeah, this is good. Okay. Well, that would make things go wrong, wouldn't it? Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if everyone else can hear you or if they're just getting a really weird one-sided conversation at the moment.
Yeah, we're one-sided conversation.
Yeah, apparently they are. So I tell you what, Alan, I'll just talk to you. Those guys, they didn't Skype me, you did. So quite frankly, they can wait, and I'll just talk to you. That's fine by me. This is very true, actually. The guys won't necessarily know this, but Ellen and I normally would be on a VKN with FO and Di right now. And the lovely, lovely Dave cancelled tonight's VKN so that the guys could all come and be part of the live podcast instead. And now Ellen has called in. Awesome, so you made it back in time. Yes, absolutely. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think I've wrapped and turned, so I'm going to knit back. Yeah, I just felt really bad because, I mean, admittedly, Tokyo, Chelsea didn't actually join in until after a couple of hours, so it must have been 6 a.m. her time. But poor Ian and Kay, and I don't know if there's anyone else from Australia that's been watching, but those guys got up. They got up at 6 a.m. and then sat for an hour waiting for the podcast to actually start. I felt so bad. Ooh. So yeah, apologies to you guys again. Well, yeah, that. Oh, I'm getting beeps now. Tam's nodding. Is that a good thing? No, it's not a good thing. Dang it. Right, what did I just do? I think I probably knit about 5-ish, didn't I? So let's go with knitting 6. Let's see what happens. But yeah, so guys, back home, get yourselves on Skype, and then when Tam gets Ellen actually on the speakers, this could be you as well. And in the meantime, I'll just happily listen to Ellen chatting in my ear. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm used to listening to you chat away whilst you're knitting, so it's quite comforting, really, just to have you there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, if I didn't like listening to people wittering gibberish whilst knitting, then quite frankly, I wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't be watching other people's podcasts, and other people wouldn't be watching me. So we all know we love doing that. Absolutely. Oh, man. A whole rat bed. That is impressive. 6-inch long rat bed sounds big enough to me. But as I said, I don't really know rats, so I can't advise particularly well. I'm having to do this awkward leaning thing at the moment. It's starting to do my neck in. Okay. Am I back on mic, normal mic? Can I hear Ellen? Can Ellen hear me?
Are you there?
Oh.
Oh, don't you just love the techno gremlins?
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. I can see it. I've got a really bizarre delay in your video feed, so I'm going to turn you upside down so now I can't see you on the iPad.
Okay, that makes sense.
Most disconcerting.
Yeah, it would be. But does this mean that people can now hear Ellen as well? Yay!
Yeah, God help them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, have I gone wrong?
Is Ellen still with us?
I think Ellen is still with us. I can
but
hear
you're
her.
now on a video link, which is quite bizarre.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, hold on.
I think, guys, I've done a Dave.
But it's doing wonders
No,
for
it's
the
a
crick in my
Dan.
neck, so that's good.
Nearly
Now I can see
miscrediting my
you.
knitting blunders there. And getting confused halfway through and then doing a short row and just starting to knit the wrong way.
You
So
might wind up
quickly-
with a bit of a mutant bluebird.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of one really big left shoulder. And one tiny right one.
My son and I have just decorated our Christmas tree.
Can we do
And when
that?
he was...
Yeah, do it. Let's add someone else in if we can do that.
Who's there?
So basically, we're going to do the FO and Die VKN on my live podcast.
Hello, dude.
James.
Yep. Whoa! Hi, Dave. I can see you. That's
Hey,
awesome.
How you doing? There's Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
We have to
Is that-
apologise to Ellie, the other Ellie.
Ellen?
Ellen,
Did Ellen get cut off?
we got cut off. We can't add.
Ah. So we've
Oh,
lost
no.
Ellen.
Sorry, Ellen, do you want me to hang up and you can call back in? Love? Have I just pushed in?
What do I do, James?
Okay. Moira, hang out for a second. I'm going to not go to Moira straight away because I've only just got Dave and Ellie on. And everyone needs to see Dave and Ellie because they need to know who they go and watch when I tell them to go and watch FO and Die. Quite
Yeah.
frankly. And Ellie down there in the corner is the one that made me the amazing Great Barrier Reef yarn. I mean, guys.
You can hear all the
seriously.
calls coming in, can't you?
It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I love that, Ellie. Well done. Good
Thank you.
make.
Yeah, it's my favourite ever.
I do not blame you at all.
Oh, no, we lost his sound.
You've lost my sound.
Oh, back. Nearly back.
Okay.
Now.
I'll just knit a bit whilst the guys work it out at the other end. But what I want to know is where Dave's got on the day one of the Scarfy Shenanigans pattern. Which is free, guys. A reminder, it's a free today and tomorrow if you go along and grab the code whilst it's up there.
Just give a spoiler outlet. There, done.
Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, I've done mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
About
you've
10.
done all 50 rows, Ellie. But
Yeah.
poor Dave. How many have you done?
I've just done the first of the colour changes. 25.
Fine.
You've done 25 rows?
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'm on
That's
like
spectacular.
row 11 or something of my pattern, so you're
Yeah.
beating me.
You know what that is, don't you? It's not VKN, so I don't feel the need to talk all the time. I can just sit and listen to you. What is...
That's the advert. We keep getting
Yeah.
adverts come up on your live feed. Every sort of
Oh, I'm
10
sorry,
minutes.
guys.
you get an advert come up.
So you'll hear it in the background. If you can hear it through our mic, that's what it is.
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's still open in the back. It's
Do
pretty
you lose
awesome.
picture as well when that happens?
Though it's an advert for.
They're just
Something interesting
random.
today.
Some of the cameras, some for holidays. It's just, the sponsors of the channel.
The sponsor stuff.
There shouldn't be any.
There we go, it's gone again now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We do not bow down to any sponsorship. The whole
Well,
Wayne's World moment going on. Mate, it must be said, this has gone spectacularly well.
Well, thank you.
Because I've been sat here just going, I may as well just sit and knit. I don't really need to do anything at all. So
Yeah. Sorry.
Katie, a shout out.
Yeah. So, Catty, it came through. Give me a second to chat to these guys, and then I'll shout for new people to ring in. That makes more sense to me.
Cool.
But
So I'm just fumbling for pattern at the moment, mate. Hang on.
this is so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So which
So,
one
Ellie,
are
have
you
you
on
actually
first?
have you got it to hand?
Yeah.
The shenanigans. Can we see Scarfy Shenanigans? Let's have a spoiler for day one.
Okay, hashtag spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler alert, people. Very Josh. Very Josh.
Short rows, here we go. Yeah, I've done short rows. I got as far as the last 5 stitches turn and I just went, what? And luckily, I just went, Ellie, what am I
Take
doing?
it off me, what am I doing?
So it's
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
so
this has got
she
short rows as
explained-
well, and I'm completely lost as to where I am in my short rows now.
Yeah.
I think I've just done a wrap and turn and I need to knit back. But I'm not
Don't
sure.
forget, matey, actually, when you finish your bird, go on to Kristen's group,
Oh, right?
because she's doing an ornament cowl.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can pop it in there.
Go and stick it in there. I don't know.
Absolutely.
She's
Yeah,
giving
there's
prizes
prizes, so
away.
you might be lucky and get her prize too.
Yeah. In fact, she's giving away her Taj Mahal yarn.
Oh, is that
isn't
for
she?
the ornament cowl? Her
Yeah.
Seven Wonders yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be epic. I would be very happy if I managed to win that.
You need to flag Laura's then, you'll have the full set.
Yeah, well, this is it. I was thinking I would then have to go and buy Laura's as well, which, to be fair, I wanted to do, but it is expensive to ship stuff over.
You wait till next time.
Till next,
Is there any-
crikey,
is there-
because you've got
is
all
there
the
any-
Americans.
There's only Ellie from the UK and the others, 3 Americans and a Canadian. It's going to
Yeah.
cost everyone a fortune.
What you need to do, you guys, is you need to get them to do a bulk order and ship it to you, and then you can sell on their yarn in the UK for those of us who don't want to have to do horrendous shipping costs.
Yeah, as long as we
So
do a
as long as I'm prepared to pay the customs charges for everyone else in the UK, that'll work great.
we do a Kickstarter,
Yeah.
Kickstarter customs charges.
Well, you could up the price equivalent. So you have to, you kind of add the £8 ridiculous fee and what have you on top.
£12.15 per skein.
Yeah.
customs charges.
Maybe it wouldn't work. Maybe it just has to be people who aren't on a yarn diet that get the American yarns. Or
We've
Americans.
got this yarn for you. It's going to cost you 60 quid a skein. There
Yeah,
you go.
exactly.
Just to
I
cover
just
our
thought if we did it in
postage.
bulk, it'd be cheaper, but I guess not. You'd have to be like an import business or something and have VAT rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Come up with some deal.
Ugh, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So how many people you got queuing up to speak to you now?
There's a couple, 3 apparently, have tried to get through.
Brilliant.
Shall I switch over to somebody else?
Okay, sweetheart. Well, have
Yeah.
more fun. You're doing well, and we'll see you later.
Thank you. Cheers for now. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
I feel like I'm on morning TV. Thanks for calling. And now we have Derek from Birmingham. Derek, what do you think about no page 3? I don't know why that was the first thing that came into my head. When I think of morning TV, I'm not particularly flattering, I have to admit. Right, I'm trying to read my knitting now to work out what I've just done. I think I should have knit 6. Yes, I need to do a wrap and turn.
We're getting Moira up next.
Moira's next, apparently. Yay! Which means she'll probably give me some abuse or something, you know.
Katie's calling, so we'll take Katie.
Okay, whoever comes through first is fine with me. I'll just keep shouting out for next.
Hi, James.
Hi, Caddy!
Hi.
This is so cool. We've not actually done voice chat before. We were talking about doing voice chat the other day, with video chat rather. And now we get to do it on the podcast. How awesome is that?
Well, this is major, James. And I do this on my phone because my MacBook, well...
Didn't work?
Well, I'm distracted because I hear the MacBook. Oh, God.
Oh, is my voice coming over the computer?
MacBook. Mute the MacBook.
Yeah, can you mute your laptop?
Yeah, moment.
And if you want to use the laptop to call, just turn down the mute or turn down the volume on Ustream and keep
Okay.
the Skype one volume up because that would be quicker. There's no delay between Skype. So if you want to use the Skype, you have to turn down the volume on Ustream.
Okay, thank you. Oh, James.
So we've got in Come Knit With Us, they have Temper, Yarn and Fibre and Beauty and something else and tech support. And now we have tech support as well. How cool is that? Don't have Beauty though.
Yeah.
Well, we have you, Catty, to be Beauty. There we go. How's that?
I'm sorry, I'm totally irritated and exhilarated and nervous. Okay?
So everybody else who's watching, this is Catty, who I've been talking about, from Pi and Anne, who sent me the wonderful stitch markers.
Yeah.
And here's a good friend who I chat with a lot as well. And she's going to help me with my German so I don't sound like a French person anymore. Isn't that right?
Oh, we will get there.
Damning with faint praise if ever I heard it.
Yes.
So how's your day been since I last chatted with you?
Busy. Lots of knitting.
Good.
Actually.
Have you got anything you can show us?
I try because the light is bad, but okay. Do you see something?
Yeah.
Well, I will try. It's a long scarf. Yeah. My
That looks
favorite
like it's-
color, James.
That's cool.
My favourite colour, James.
I thought orange was your favourite colour, Catty.
Teal. What else?
Well, I know. Have you started the Bartley pattern yet in teal?
Oh, the Bartley. I could show you the Bartley
Yeah.
in real. Let me go to the living room.
Yeah.
Okay.
A quick tour
Yeah,
of a knitting designer's
light.
house.
Okay. Bartley pattern.
So that, guys, is
Okay.
the amazing cowl that Catty designed for, well, for all of us to make, but she did sort of dedicate it to me, and I love her for it, absolutely. And I love that cowl as well. It's awesome, Catty, and you know I love it. So.
Thank you. Well, I have a message for you all because this is hanging on my wall. This is for you.
Absolutely. Keep calm and knit on. Stay chilled out. I like it. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going back.
Cool. Cheers, Catty. Thanks very much for ringing in. I shall voice chat you again some
Bye.
other time when it's just the two of us.
Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yay. Oh, this is awesome. This is like having my favourite friends coming on and chatting with me on my podcast. I have completely lost track of where I am in the pattern, so I'm basically just doing loads of short rows until I feel like I've done enough. And trying not to do it halfway through. We have another caller. This is epic. I think we're just going to keep going for the whole...
Just lost the other call.
Oh, no.
Oh no, it was Catty, sorry.
Oh, okay. Saying goodbye. I don't think I've gone wrong. I think, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm good. Take that needle out. And pearl.
Oh, here we go. We do, hold on.
So yeah, guys, if you like that orange cowl, it is the Bartley pattern. Hey, hello.
Hello, is it me? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
it's you. I'm sorry, I didn't
You know
see what
what?
your name was when it came up, so I have no idea who I'm talking to.
It's Moira.
Moira.
You know, I wasn't going to call. I kind of called by accident. But then, but then you said I was going to call and be mean to you. So now I have to prove that I'm a nice person. Actually, I was going to take you up on your offer of being mean and propose that we chat in French.
Ah, ouais, d'accord, si tu veux.
Oui, super. Salut.
C'est pas si
Ça
bien
va?
pour les autres qui ne parlent pas français, mais quand même.
Mais tant
Yeah,
pis
tant
pour
pis
eux.
pour eux, ouais, exactement.
Hold on, I have to subtitle this.
I have one for you too. Do you see it backwards?
I thought that's to take me.
Make tea, make tea.
Make tea. Yeah. Because we can go to the bathroom. So
Yeah, absolutely. You actually can run off and look after
I was
yourself.
very worried about you when you were drinking and drinking at the beginning of the podcast. I kept typing, "Stop drinking! Stop drinking!" You need to plan this better. Stop
I
drinking.
do. You're right. But to be fair, though, I was so nervous. I get like this before I'm performing and stuff when I used to do stuff on stage or when I'm dancing. I get so nervous that I feel like I need to go to the toilet anyway when I don't. So I've needed to go to the toilet since before we started the podcast. So I won't be able to tell any difference if I do actually need to go to the toilet later. This feels like something that's not necessarily the best conversation topic, so I might stop talking about
No,
it. now.
but I do need to add that right before the podcast came on, we did have a chat about it and decided you needed something like a podcast catheter.
Oh my God.
And
Now that would
I'm
make me sing.
I'm thinking to make it less scary, you could knit a little kind of cover for it, a cute little cover for your catheter. That could be a project you could do while you're chatting with us. I'm knitting for my catheter tube.
Yes, I think that's a genius idea. I'm not sure I'm necessarily going to take you up on it on this one, but maybe next time.
Yes. Oh, yes. When you're doing the 12-hour marathon.
Yes, absolutely. You know, this is just a warm up, really, isn't it? This is just
Yeah, it
this
is.
is just the
Practice run.
pre-show show.
You have to check out the Guinness Book of Records and just whatever someone has done, you have to do better.
Anything they can do, I can do better.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Actually, we should contact the Guinness Book of Records, maybe for like a live length of knitting podcast live. That was a sentence in there somewhere. We've probably broken some kind of record. So tell me, Where in the world are you? Because I've not kept track of you.
I'm in Trondheim now, in Norway.
Ah, okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Because
Was I right with Switzerland? Was it Switzerland you were in before?
Yeah, I grew up in Switzerland, but my husband. Can everyone see my boobs? Sorry. I feel I should have at least bonus points because I dressed, you know. Yeah, I grew up in Switzerland, but my husband is Norwegian, so I live in Trondheim now, which
Cool.
means it's dark almost all the time.
Are you fairly north in Norway then?
Yeah, we're
don't know the
in the
geography very well.
center of Norway, which is super north. So we have daylight from about 10 to 2-ish, 10 to 1:30.
Do you still have to go to work during those hours?
Yeah, I teach, so I drive in the darkness and I come home in the darkness.
That's evil.
And even if it's sunny, the sun doesn't go up. It kind of comes up and then stays on the horizon, and then goes down.
Yeah.
So actually, you need sunglasses more during the winter here than during the summer, because you have the sun right in your eyes.
Yeah, I had the same thing driving down this afternoon. Obviously not to the same extent, but because it's low in winter, the sun. I had to have my sun visor down and sunglasses on driving in the car in December. It feels very weird.
Yeah. Oh, I have an advert going on, but I see you through Skype, so it's okay.
Okay.
I'm spinning orange.
Yay!
You see that? It's like fire orange.
Yeah,
it's darker
beautiful.
than what you see. There you go. So like that.
So are you spinning on a wheel?
Yes, I have an Ashford Kiwi, which makes so much noise. It's kind of a beginner's wheel.
Okay, yeah.
And I've grown out of it. You don't grow out of a wheel. You grow.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you grow out. You grow.
Yeah, you grow out of something. If it no longer meets your needs, you've kind of grown out of it. That makes sense to me.
So it's probably the last bump I spin on it. And my husband offered me for my 40th. He offered me a Mayacraft rose.
Oh, that sounds fancy. I don't know it, but is it fancy?
It's very fancy. It's like going from a Fiat Panda to a Mercedes.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. So it's
no bad
arriving.
noises or anything.
Yeah. So my mom lives in the US, so she brings me stuff. So when I buy yarn, I just have it sent to her, so I don't have to pay for everything.
Oh, smart.
And so she's coming with the wheel. She's of course super thrilled about traveling with a huge wheel.
Yeah.
For the second time. But yeah, so she's coming with it. It'll come after Christmas. She's coming after Christmas. So I have to listen to. That's why I have actually the headphones. It's so that I don't have to listen to my wheel, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to hear you. That's how much noise it makes.
Oh my gosh. Well, I won't ask you to demo then, because you'll deafen everyone else on the podcast.
I would. It's just this clicking. It's just driving me crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm doing while I'm listening to you.
So you are, let me just check myself whilst I'm talking to you. On Ravelry, you're Roxanne, and on Instagram, it's I Knit You.
You.
So why I Knit You?
Because I had a blog which I haven't written on in forever, and it needed a name, and I just thought I Knit You was cool.
Fair dues. That's as good a reason as any.
And then Roxanne is because I don't have a middle name, because my parents said that once they were done figuring out Moira and how to spell it and all these things, they were kind of done.
It didn't sound like they went through a bit of a journey trying to get that to work.
So they just couldn't think of a middle name that went with it. So, and I always wanted to have a middle name, so I thought Roxanne would be nice. And then I just decided to spell it a bit differently.
Well, I love it. It does remind me, because of the extra R's, it reminds me of the song from Moulin Rouge. I don't know if you the Tango de Roxanne, where the guy sings Roxanne. Da, da, da. I love that
Most
song.
people sing the song by the Police about the
Ah.
red light district.
Yeah, that's not
You
so good.
put on
Although,
the
to be
red
fair,
light,
I'm
yeah.
fairly sure Roxanne is of uncertain nature, shall we say, in the other song as well. So
Yes.
you may have picked a name that has interesting connotations in the musical world.
Yes. It's so that people remember it. It has nothing to do with my job.
I'm trying to think, is Roxanne the name of the lady that, is it the Bergerac, the guy with the big nose, falls in love with?
Yes, Cyrano.
Another 80s movie. Yeah.
Cyrano de Bergerac? Yes, it's Roxanne.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one,
Yay!
and that's better. And the 80s
Yes.
movie as well, as Alex pointed out.
Yes,
Alex?
that's true.
Yes,
And yes,
Alex,
Roxanne she's the beautiful woman, but she does kind of waste her life away with an idiot pretty guy when the ugly smart guy was in love with her, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, sad
Yeah.
story.
Tragic. But it's a great movie. It's a great play, but the movie with Gérard Depardieu is fantastic.
Oh well, anything with him in is going to be awesome. But I'm gonna
Yes,
I'm gonna have to stop, Moira. As much as I'm enjoying chatting with you, because I need to focus on the next row because it's not the same as the other ones now, and I need to stop and think.
That's okay. I want to see your
But
bird.
thank you very, very much for ringing in, and you are lovely.
You're welcome.
You're not mean at all.
Thank you.
Merci bien.
De rien. Au revoir. Bonne
Au
soirée.
revoir. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, I think you guys already know I'm a bit of a show-off, so it's fine. We didn't say anything nasty about you, I promise. That's always what my other half worries about. If I'm chatting away to friends in another language or what have you. And then I actually took to name dropping whilst talking. So you'd say something in another language. You might just go, yeah, no, I'm going to go and knit this bluebird of happiness now. Derek. And then, yeah, oh, no, that'd be great. I'd love to see what you've got going on. Derek. And you just keep saying their name. That's not his name, by the way. Crikey. Give me a second, guys. I've got to read the pattern first, and I haven't even chatted. But yeah, and it makes people very self-conscious. It wasn't that good a story, to be honest, really. Let's just go straight to if somebody wants to ring in and chat with me, that's better, because then they can talk for a bit.
James, man, your system's just called me.
Yay! Awesome! Clearly we had to talk to each other.
You just called me, apparently.
Yeah, I'll go down with that. That's fine.
But you were that desperate to speak to me again.
Yes.
You decided you'd phone me yourself.
Absolutely. Now, what I want to know...
Still finished day one. Yeah.
Is why are you wearing a hat?
I am wearing a hat because I was outside when we got your Skype ID, so I dashed in, so I'm still wearing it.
So there's nothing gone on with the blue hair?
No, blue hair's still blue.
Okay, just checking.
I know normally I wear the hat and then remove it and I've done something odd to it.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
not this time.
Just cold.
Yeah.
That's allowed. That's allowed.
But yeah, but I also love my hat as well.
It is awesome. Who knit it?
Yeah.
Well, Ellie span it.
I spun the yarn. It's Rambouillet.
Yeah.
With sparkle. So a man that wears a sparkly hat.
Oh, here's the thing for you. James wants to spin a sweater quantity.
Yeah.
A fibre. Ellie was out of the room when you asked us earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You need to give him a suggestion on what you should be looking to spin.
What, fibre-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a hypothetical. It was a question on the forum.
Okay. My personal favourite is Polworth.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to have drape with it, mix some silk or tencel with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whoever asked that question before, because I have forgotten completely. There you go.
We haven't asked.
Polworth with silk, maybe, or what was it?
Just because it's got enough grip that you can keep hold of it without it slipping, and you can still wash it well. And if you wash it in cooler water, it's more felt resistant than say a merino would be. It's soft, it's squishy. You can get a lot of air into it without having to use a lot of it. So yeah.
That all sounds like awesome things.
Yeah.
Plus, at the end of the day, if you don't like it, Polworth takes dye extraordinarily well, so you can just dye over the top of it and have a different colour sweater.
You see, now these are the kind of hints you only get when you talk to a dyer.
But this is why F and I is a two-person podcast. Because people ask me that question, I just go, I don't know. I'm just here to show off a bit of knitting that I've done this week.
And you've done a good
Ellie has all
job
the technical
too.
questions. Yeah. Encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
Right, I apparently have confused myself entirely now with this wrap and turn. Okay, well, apparently we didn't mean to actually ring you guys, so apologies. That was Tania, who was desperate to talk to you.
Obviously.
So I'll let you go again, and I'll maybe try and get onto some of the other stuff I plan to talk about tonight, but you never know.
Well, it's
I might just put the
11:15,
bluebird
so you're
down.
doing all right. So you still got a chance of making 4 hours.
Yeah, oh please. Given the amount of stuff I prepped, worrying that I wouldn't have enough, I could keep going until
Shall I just
next
get
week.
breakfast ready for when you finish talking? All right, mate. Have a good one. Catch you
Cheers,
later.
Dave. Thanks, Ellie. Bye. Oh, man. So this whole wrap and turn thing, I think I've mucked it up. So I'm going to put it down for a second and just have a moment to relax.
Did you want to call Ellen back just to apologise? Or is that all right?
No, Ellen will understand. I'll see her again in the VKN as well. I love you, Ellen. Plus, if Ellen was really upset, she could ring me back and tell me off. She wouldn't have any problems with doing that. So, I've got to row 14 on the bluebird, and I'm going to put it down for a bit because I think I've gone slightly wrong with the wrap. Well, it's not that I've gone wrong. I tried to knit it in, and I don't think I wanted to. I think I meant to leave the wrap around the stitch, so I'm trying to undo what I just tried to do. I'm probably trying to do something and then trying to undo it just makes it worse, but you know. That can sit there for a second. I feel like working on something a bit different. For starters, I want to see if anyone else has posted anything to Instagram. I don't know why that's come up in my feed. Let's skip that one. Oh, now I do know why. There we go. Do 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 do. Where was I? Quick, Aisha, I need slapping. I've lost where I am. Done that, we've done that, we've done that. We were doing questions, we've done a bit of that. Let's go for, I said I was going to do this one. Knitting is a sport. I don't know about you guys, but I am baking hot right now. I need more tea. The tea maid has ran off. It's just, you just can't get the staff these days. But the reason I wrote down knitting as a sport was because I thought it'd be quite interesting to talk about this, particularly in the context with the extreme knitting, and that's something that people have been asking about. So let's go and do some stuff on extreme knitting. I have notes and everything somewhere. There we go. So the one that's currently on the needles is the one for my other half's dad. And his mum. His dad's one is one I did first that I put onto the scrap yarn, as I said earlier. There's Josh's MCal waiting for me patiently, going, please, please love me. Right, and that needs to go on that side because I have to do this English style because I cannot, can you imagine me trying to hold the yarn with these needles? It doesn't work. So if I shift over a little bit, I'll show you how I sit with these. So because they're big chunky needles, I tend to sit with them on my lap. And then I will knit English style because when you've got such big needles, you're doing quite a big action. And so just using throwing style with English is really much easier. So if you only know continental, then you're going to want really to have a go at English to do something like this. Now this pattern is super, super simple because I didn't want to make myself crazy trying to do these. So it's just a really basic garter stitch blanket. But what's quite fun when you're doing something like this is because it's really big needles, you can use really chunky yarn. And what I've done with these, and it's totally not my idea, so I'll tell you all about where you can get them and who gave me the idea, is to use multiple strands of yarn. Now, it can be a bit tricky, like I've just demonstrated, because the strands can get a bit caught up. But if you keep them fairly tidy in one hand, then you're fine. And all I do is I just sit like this and work across without any problems. Now, one problem I have spotted as I'm prepping my yarn is I'm about to run out of one of the colours, I think. Oh no, I'm not sure why. No, I'm not. So I thought I was going to have to do a whole wind on, and we could do a bit about spit splicing, which is a bit gross to watch, but really, really useful to know. So if you don't know spit splicing, it only works when you've got all natural fibres, but this is 65 wool, 35 alpaca. So it's all natural, and it will felt because it needs to felt. The idea is you undo the plies a little bit on the yarn, get them wet with spit, and then wind them around each other and rub them between your hands. It's magic. Go and watch the knit pics. Knit pics? No. Pink, very pink knits. She does loads of really good tutorials, and I watched hers for the spit splice, and it was really, really delicately done, bless her, because she was like, and now we do the spit part. But according to her, at least, it does have to be spit. Just plain water doesn't work. I haven't tested that theory because I'm a goober and I don't mind spitting on my yarn. And so long as the person that's receiving it doesn't realise I've spat on the yarn, then it's fine, right? They won't know. Or maybe that is a bit gross for a gift, but hey-ho. But I don't need to do it because I'm not at the end of the yarn. It must have been this one where I was at the end of some yarns and I saw trailing bits of yarn and started to worry. But with something like this, it's dead straightforward. Now, you can purl, but I'm sure you can imagine trying to purl with this yarn. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. I would not recommend trying to do ribbing. Trying to switch between knitting and purling is not fun. But you can also purl. Now, you could try and hold it up like this, but as you can kind of tell, it's not great. But in the olden days, people used to knit with one needle under their arm, and it's kind of like that. I put one needle on the floor, and you can hold it with your feet or your knees or what have you. I don't do it for knitting, but for purling, it's perfect, because then you hook on the stitch, you wrap it, you pull it off the needle. And it's brilliant, so you can just purl like that, and just go across. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to tink back now, because I don't want to suddenly have stockinette in the middle of my blanket that I'm gifting for Christmas. And again, tinking back's really straightforward. You just do what you would do normally. It's just you're a bit clumsier with it. So these needles I got from somebody called Rachel John. So she was at Woolfest in June this year. She's mostly based on Facebook. I know I've mentioned her before. So if you go and search Rachel John or Extreme Textiles on Facebook, you'll be able to find her in her shops and what have you. You can also get, although it's in my Christmas wish list, so I haven't bought myself it yet. I was tempted to buy it for the podcast, but I was like, no, I've got to wait till after Christmas now because I put it in my wish list. But you can also buy jumbo crochet hooks. So if you want to crochet in the round whilst watching podcasts, because that doesn't drive you insane, then you can totally do jumbo versions of that as well, which is pretty awesome. And I do want to try that later on. I've also got some extra chunky yarns that I wanted to turn into like a basket, and you need the chunkier crochet hooks to do that. So obviously, in terms of ergonomics, in terms of how you're doing it, you can see that I've got them sat on my thighs. So the weight of it is not dragging on my arms or anything. I'm not picking it up. Obviously, with a bigger sample, such as this, it starts to get a little bit more clumsy. But if you just drop it between your legs, and then you can sort of hang the top part over your one knee. And again, the weight then is actually into your leg, and you're not holding it. You're only holding the weight of the last few rows, say. The other thing you could do if you really fancy was kind of wear it at the same time, but I've never tried that. I've forgotten what I was going to say then about that, but never mind. So I'll put that one back. But yeah, if you have the big ones, oh, that was it. It twists. So as you work, obviously, you know, as you're turning work, if you're not careful, which, you know, quite frankly, I'm not, so this happens to me all the time. Once you get to the end of the row, you turn it, and then you knit along, and then you turn it, and then you knit along, and then you turn it, and you can see what's happening. It twists, twists, and twists. So you either remember to turn it back the other way, or you do what I do, which is just to lift it up and let it untangle every so often. And speaking of untangling, I feel like I've got my yarn all messed up now, but never mind. There we go. Yeah, this is the one where I'm running out of yarn, so I can't knit any more on this until I spit splice some more balls in. But that, lengthwise, if you're interested, this is about 4 lots of 50-gram balls of yarn. Now I do have my, this is Drops Lima. No, Drops Nepal. Lima is the other one. I think Nepal is the Aran. Lima, I think, is a DK. And so I can tell you the yardage on a one ball is about 82 yards, 75 meters. So this is 4 balls worth of turns of length. So obviously I'm holding lots of different colors at the same time, but it's 4 lots of, and it's huge. Yeah, this thing, if I pick it up and hold it, goes all the way up to the top of me, and I've only done 4 out of the 5 balls. So it's pretty stinking huge. Which is why I'm thinking actually I might then go and pick up some stitches down the side and do something like a little garter stitch edging. And so it'll be a bit different again to the other one, which I've started making just wider from the beginning. And they're awesome. And it's really, because it's something really simple, it stretches. So if you do want to have a play around with stuff like this, it's really versatile. What I have not done, and I would like to try, is holding more yarn together at any one time. Because this is 5 strands of Aran that I've done for this on 27mm needles. And you can see that it's really quite drapey, which is really nice for a blanket, I think. It's nice and snug, you can sort of sit under it and fold it over and what have you, and this is going to be lovely, I hope, for the recipients. But if you can see there's lots of holes in it, which is also what gives it the real stretchiness, so you can reshape it. I could actually have someone come and sit next to me, and the blanket would suddenly magically fit them as well, which is just amazing. So it's very, very versatile in that respect, this kind of size knitting. But it's got big holes in it. But then because I'm using wool alpaca blend, obviously it should still be toasty, toasty warm. And in fact, I know it is because I've sat under this a bit whilst knitting sometimes. And very quickly, my legs get nice and warm. But what I would like to try and do is to hold maybe 10 strands together at the same time, which would be double this again. And that would make a much denser fabric. Now, I'm not sure if that would be good for a blanket, because you can imagine something that heavy. I mean, this is going to have 25 times 50 grams, so about, I'm trying to do maths and it's late now, I can't work it out. But it's going to be something like 1 kilo to 2 kilos or something like that. If you then double up the amount of yarn in all of those stitches, you're talking 4 kilos potentially worth of yarn, which is really heavy to have as a blanket. Plus it'll be a lot stiffer, but it would make an awesome rug. And this is some of the things that I saw hanging up when I went to Woolfest. Rachel John had some gorgeous kind of rug type things hanging on the wall, and they were knit with lots and lots and lots of strands at the same time, so it was quite a dense, you know, this is like you've knit 4-ply on needles for DK, whereas if you get something that's a bit more suited to the thickness of the needle, you get like quite a thick chunky knit. It's like about 1 inch thick or more. And that makes a really nice rug. I suppose you can kind of use it like a bed throw or something if you really wanted to, but I think something like a rug or sort of a sofa throw that you're not necessarily going to sit on, but just to look at. It's more architectural stuff, because that stuff is hefty and probably quite stiff as well. I know that she has done in the past, which is kind of cool, shop displays and stuff with the extreme knitting. So she's knit and made letters out of it and things like that. And I think that would be awesome to do. So I love the idea of knitting something sculptural using these needles, or the crochet, if and when I get the crochet ones, trying that. But I absolutely adore doing this, and it's simply a case of needing the right excuse to do it, because there's only so many blankets and rugs that you can knit yourself before you realise your whole house is just going to be covered in extreme knitting, and you start to look like the crazy man that does only extreme knitting, which just doesn't work. So, is there anything else you guys would like to know about the extreme knitting? I'm thinking questions now. So, good night to Emma. Night, night, Emma. I don't blame you, love. You're on the +1. It's well into night time for you guys. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Let's check my notes. Oh yeah, suppliers. Well, I've told you about Rachel John. There are other people that do like really big chunky knitting stuff. I've only sort of seen one other person, and I wasn't impressed, so I won't name names rather than say anything else. So I would point you to Rachel John, or any other local artist that you find doing something similar with woodwork. But it's really good fun to do. And the first thing I did with this was just to buy a load of acrylic and then knit with that and just have fun and play around with it and play with colour and stuff. And I have so many ideas for designing with this stuff that I will eventually get to. You know, I've got years left, I hope, so I'm not in a rush.
Should we do some social media?
We can do, yes. Bless you, Tam, for jumping in. So, let's have a look. Oh, Emma's not off to bed. Oh, someone else must have been going to bed then. I apologise, Emma. Where am I looking? Over there. Sorry, Emma. She's not going to bed. Christine maybe is going to bed. Is someone saying goodbye to Christine? Yes, so if you're asking about extreme knitting and the project sagging, if you hang it on the wall, that wasn't these kinds of things. So these are much looser. So they're good for throws and drapey things. I've made a scarf out of this, actually, which was really, really nice. You know, it's like 10 stitches wide. It's almost like arm knitting kind of stuff. But the stuff that she had hanging up was the really dense stuff. So there's many more strands, 10, 12, 15, I don't know. It also depends. These are the largest needles that she had in width. You could get other smaller sizes. But no, so it's a dense fabric that she knit up. Catty is now knitting English style. Well done, Catty. You got to stretch them brain cells. I love the idea. Yeah, you've got to have this stuff up and hang it up. I think it looks amazing. I'm quite like the idea of making myself a backdrop for the cupboard. What's it? Oh, I have a broom cupboard. That's it. Back home where I've been podcasting from recently. I'm just having a look at the chat. You guys are chatting to each other, which is awesome. But that means there's not many questions there, so I shall not worry about it. Oh, bless you. Emma's like, no, I am going to stay up. I am going to stay awake. Bless you, Emma. Stay with us. Yeah. I think these guys are feeling the same way right now. I'm fine. I could keep going for another 2 hours, 3 hours. The only thing I need is a drink because my voice is starting to go raspy. Let's have a look in the chat thread. Yes, Kay, you are quite right. That neck has grown and grown and grown. I believe, according to stitch count, I've done the right length of neck on the Bluebird. So hopefully, if I can work out what I've done with the wrap around the stitch that I've got to, then I'll be able to carry on, no problem. Or I'll just keep going because it doesn't need to be perfect. Now, I saw some stuff on Instagram earlier actually as well that I wasn't able to respond to straight away. So let's see if I can pull that up now. Okay, so I've had messages from Ellie letting me know that you couldn't find me on Skype. There's too many versions of me. What can I say? I'm a popular guy.
It's just Jimbo Barley, right?
Yeah. Oh, cool. So I've had a couple of people message me some photos directly. The cool clavicle cover looks awesome, Tina.
Next.
You have a badge maker. You may be my new best friend. We need to talk. I will message you on Instagram later after this. That sounds awesome. It's not refreshing my feed. No. Oh, yay! Chelsea's son's watching as well. Hi, Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea's little guy. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I'm waving to you in Tokyo. Another Christmas ornament. Another one. Have you finished one already, Emma? Oh, I'm not going to feel bad. I'm not going to feel... I feel happy for you. See, I'm being the better person. Yes, this podcast is PG. You are the one that's seeing something that isn't there, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Check Instagram if you want to know what I'm talking about. I do feel a bit like a borrower with these. These do make me feel like a tiny person. But it's awesome because it knits up so quickly. So yeah, you can knit a whole blanket for someone in 2 days. Christmas presents, done. How awesome is that? And then you turn up with a whole knitted blanket and you're like, yeah, you know, most people take like a month to knit a blanket or something. You just don't tell them that's normally when they're doing it on like size 12mm needles or something rather than 27mm. Right, well I can't search the hashtags for some reason. It's not working. So I'll just have to go without the hashtag for whatever reason. But hey ho. Anyone in chat still? I think people might be flagging. Are you guys flagging? I don't feel like you're flagging. It is 4 hours though, and it's live. But I did wonder if some of you guys were going to join in later. So I was hoping there'd be like a bit of a turnover, and it wouldn't be everybody just turned up at 7, started watching at 8, and is still watching 4.5 hours later. If you are, bless you. And everybody, let's. How can I do this? How can I do this? I need to have a way. Maybe I'll go through the search through the chat or something, because basically everybody needs to win something for having sat through this with me. So when I get badges sorted, everyone automatically gets badges. I mean, I want to give everyone badges anyway, so you need something special. Which reminds me, actually, I've got all these prizes and I haven't tried to give anything away. Jeez, I've got giveaways to do still, guys. Why aren't you prompting me? Nobody's asked though. Nobody wants these prizes. I mean, don't you know?
We can get people to call in to get the prizes.
Yes, this needs to happen. Okay, you've all had time to get Skype sorted. So I'm going to give away a prize now. I'm going to give away a Christmas sock prize. So basically, I'm going to stick my hand in here and pull something random out, and you get it if you ring me right now. Do it. Yeah? Right, there's a bit of a delay on the feed, so I'll let you guys see that.
Ring me now.
But yeah. Please. Where did I throw the tea bag? There it is. Catch. Cheers, matey. I'm going to get an end of podcast cuppa as well, so I can try out Ellie's tea. It doesn't work the other way around, does it? Mr. Producer, sir, somebody's trying to show you something.
There you go.
Ellen! Yay! Ellen's going to win a prize.
Hold on a second.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the physical side of it, wasn't I?
Hold on.
Oh, now everyone's trying to ring.
Hold on. For some reason we lost you. Hold on.
What about Chelsea? Chelsea's ringing now.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. I'm holding.
It's all happening.
This is what I didn't think of.
Right. So, let's try
A
again.
tip? Oh, okay. You meant like cash.
Okay.
Leave me a tip like your waiter, and then I'll give you a prize. I'm quite excited. I want to give these all away now. Everyone rings. Everyone whose name I've seen come up, you've automatically won a prize. So before you even call, I'm going to draw something out. I'm going to ruffle right to the bottom. Grab something. This feels yarny. Ooh, what's it going to be? Ah! It's my tiny hat! Ellen, you win my tiny hat. Do you have anyone with tiny heads? You have children. I know. Oh, Alex, do you have a tiny head? Try it on, see if it fits you.
Okay,
I'll wash it before I give it to you, Ellen, don't worry.
Yeah, get into that.
Almost, almost. It's the lack of hair as well, you can kind of get it to fit. But it's kind of more of a kid's hat. So there you go, Ellen. Chelsea!
Hi!
Oh, I can't hear you at the moment, but this is still very cool. So Ellen, wherever you are, you've won that hat, I'll come back to you. So I can't hear Chelsea at the moment. Can I?
Is it working?
Yay, I heard you. Okay, so a random prize is some lovely blue yarn. Do you like it? Can you see it?
Oh, yay!
Which camera am I on? I can't even tell where I am. Down there. There we go.
Yay!
So I get to send something to Tokyo now, which is kind of cool. I've never done that before. That's awesome. So there you go. The camera follows me. That's cool, dude. There's fancy technology here. You see, I don't have this kind of setup at home. I just have one static camera. So that one's for Nitpitch. I need to write this down. How are you then? What time is it now?
It is 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not too bad. Have you been up very long?
I've been up since about 6:30. He wakes up early, so.
That, you see, I couldn't do that. Not even for the love of another podcast. So bless you so much. I mean, even if you do get up early, I still think that you're a trooper for coming and watching me as well. So thank you very much.
Of course.
Oh man, have you got anything planned today then, knitting wise, or?
Pardon?
Have you got any knitting planned today? Because it must be Sunday for you now, right?
Yeah, it's Sunday. I've been working on his gift, his Christmas gift. I'm doing one of the wild things from Susan Claudino, the stuffy.
Ah, sorry. The sound's not very loud at my end, so I can't hear you very well.
I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
She's on her phone, she's sorry.
Ah, okay. Tam can hear you. I can't. Oh, Chelsea, this is awesome. I would love to chat with you some more. Can we? Tam's working on it. Say something to me, Chelsea. Say something.
It's okay. We can. I just wanted to say hi.
I can hear you. This is good. I can actually talk to you back now.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Hi.
I tell you what I ought to do actually is I should try and find out where they sell the biscuits and maybe take some photos or something, because those biscuits aren't far from me that you had on your podcast. And they do look amazing. So when I send this, I'll have to send some photos or something with it to show you the factory or something, just because I can.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Oh dear. Okay. I think. Sorry?
Nobody said anything.
Oh, okay.
Pardon?
Let's say sorry. Pardon to each other. Pardon. Did you say something? No. It's really cool to talk to you, Chelsea. Thank you for saying hi. I think maybe I ought to say goodbye as well, because I'm struggling a little bit here. But it's so cool to chat to you in Tokyo.
Bye.
Bye. Ah. That was awesome, Chelsea. Thank you.
We've got another call.
Do we? Is someone else calling in?
No, we don't. I'm lying.
Okay, that's fine. I'll keep the rest of the prizes then.
Emma's going to call. She's just looking for her headphones.
Okay, cool. And I'll give the other prizes away another week maybe. Oh, cheers. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It's a great shot, James.
Yeah, just my booty. Sorry, I was getting handed another cup of tea, which obviously is a requirement now. but it's a little bit hot, so I'll let it sit for a second, and then we can have a tea testing towards the end. All the things I thought I would need to fill 4 hours, and as my friends who were talking to me before said, James, you're not going to have a problem talking for 4 hours, and you're quite clearly correct, because I have a whole ream of other ideas, but that just means I've got more stuff to talk to you about next time, assuming there is a next time, and Tamir doesn't swear this off as a really bad idea, because I'm having a great time. So if anyone else wants to, do you know what, if you're in the chat on the Ustream and you want a prize, tell me you want a prize, and I'm just going to start pulling prizes. Oh, Emma's going to get a prize. Where did I put my prize backs? Yay! But I think everyone should, I just want prizes. Prizes for everybody. I want them all to go, and I need to knit them down, write them down. I'm ready. I was born ready. Yay! Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Another caller from Norway.
Yes.
How are you? Have you been knitting much? Well, I know you've been
I have
knitting.
been knitting like really much actually, so it's good. I usually sleep, so it's nice to get so much knitting done. And
can we see it?
I finished the ornament.
Oh, beautiful.
So several of these.
So is that actually around something at the moment, or are you going to put it
Yeah,
around?
I'm going to stuff it with later on.
Ah, okay.
So I knit several of them with different patterns and stuff.
That's cunning. Have you seen
Yeah,
the people
yeah.
that do it? Ooh. Something may have gone wrong there. Never mind. Are you back?
Yeah, the
Yay,
computer.
you're back.
This is how they look when they're finished.
Oh, cool. That is very nice. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I haven't tried colour work yet.
It's not so hard actually when you.
So I need to pick a prize for you, Emma.
Oh.
Do, 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 do. You get the felted orange wallet. So this was handmade by Kip, who is a lady here in Derbyshire that makes felted things. And it is an orange purse, and it's not so orange on the outside, but on the inside, it's really orange. So do you like orange?
Yes, I do.
Good.
I before, but I have started to like it, so that will be perfect for me.
Yay! I'm gonna have to. I'm writing it down now because otherwise, I know I will just forget all of this. There we go. Okay, done. Is it not? Is it? Are you not? Isn't she not coming through? Oh, crikey! Yeah, the picture's not great, Emma.
No, the webcam is not so good.
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little choppy, but I can hear you. But what time is it for you right now?
It's almost 1, I think.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I'm a night owl, so for me staying up till that time is fine. But if you said you're normally sleeping, then thank you so much for staying up with me.
You're doing really great, and it's really fun. So
excellent.
Keep going.
That's good to know as well, because I'm sat here just yabbering away in front of a bunch of people that don't know anything about knitting really. Apart from Aisha. Aisha knits, but she said that she wasn't feeling up to coming on the podcast this time. What I'm doing is I'm setting this up so that next time she has to. And there has to be a next time. You see what I'm doing? See how it works?
I should keep
okay, I'm gonna.
Talking.
I can't hear you very well, so I'm gonna say thank you for calling me, and we'll work on making it better again next time anyway. But it's so cool. You have won an orange wallet. Now what I need to do is Pengarama wants a prize. Pengarama. So I don't know who you are, Pengarama, because I don't recognise your name straight off. So you'll have to message me on Ravelry. Yeah, send me a PM on Ravelry so I know who you are. And Pengarama gets A rubber ducky! So this is a Sparkle Duck rubber ducky that Sparkle Duck gave me very kindly. So I'm going to forward it on to Pengarama. I hope you like rubber duckies. Do you take baths? I don't know. But you get the rubber ducky. If you hate any of your prizes, guys, you do get to tell me, please, 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 can you have something else? But I quite like the idea of just drawing random Santa presents. I feel like Santa Claus. It's like a Christmassy thing. Anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, you see, Coopcom says that her prize, or his prize, her prize, I think it is. I'm trying to remember from where I've seen you elsewhere. Has been getting to chat with all of you cool fibre folk across the world. Yay, mixed plate knits. You should definitely get a prize. You were the first person to send me a project bag, so you definitely get something. So let's have a look. Yes, Chelsea, we definitely need to talk again sometime. And Ian, oh, this is cool. So Ashley Lynn gets a Hurdy. It's not a stitch marker. What is this one called? Keyring. There we go. I might be losing my words, guys. It's getting late. This is like the best of when I do late night recordings because I procrastinated all day, combined with live, because you know this is what I'm like when I get delirious. I really should have planned this better, but hey ho. So that one's for Ashley Lynn. I'm just gonna have to write these down. Ashley Lynn gave me, and I don't actually have it with me today because it's at home with one skein of yarn sat in it, waiting for me to start the Mystic Spiral Socks by Josh Ricks. Yes, I have a thing for Josh's patterns. You guys know that already. Hurdy keyring. And, Eric's calling. Awesome. I haven't forgotten about you, Ian. I know you said you wanted a prize. And Sonic Freak, and Maureen, and Dave, and Ali. Awesome. Okay, so I'll have to work my way back through you guys, and if I run out of prizes, then I apologise. We have somebody calling.
Hello.
Hello. I can hear you. I can't see you yet.
I am going to turn this down because I don't want it to echo on your side. I'm trying to turn my video on, but my computer's kind of horrible.
Hey, hi Eric. I can see you now.
Hello.
This way I can stop calling you Gonzo all the time because I've chatted with you.
You know, you can call me Gonzo if you want. Quite a few of my friends do, so.
Excellent. So. Have you knitted anything tonight?
I'm doing good, so.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. Have you tried knitting anything whilst you've been watching?
I've been knitting a few things. I'm working on a 10-stitch blanket, a scarf, and a hat right now.
Impressive. Can we look? So, can we see? Can we see?
The hat's far, far away.
That's okay.
But this is the 10-stitch blanket. So
cool.
I don't know how well you can see that.
Yeah.
But it's coming along. And then I think you have a love of orange, so you'll like this scarf.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just...
That's awesome.
A nice holy scarf, so...
Yeah, totally. That reminds me of the... what's it called? The Ultra Bland scarf that I've knit a couple of times. It looks similar to that, with all the lace holes in it. You might not have seen it, it's fine. It's from a while ago. You get? Okay, do you spin? Or do you have use for fibre, Eric?
No, but it's worth a shot.
Would you like some hand-dyed curls of Wensleydale?
Sounds good to me.
Awesome! Then I shall send you these. Wicked.
Awesome.
These look really, really cool. So I'm glad you can have a play around with them. So I'm going to write that down.
Okay, sounds good.
Where in the world are you right now?
I am in Oregon.
Oh, I say I love Oregon. I really want to visit Oregon, basically.
It's quite nice.
Tam says I don't, but I think I do. From before I started podcasting, I had a lot of friends via blogging in Portland, Oregon. So I really wanted to go and visit them all, but I've never been outside of Europe.
Yeah.
So what's it like where you are?
I'm just outside of Portland, so.
Oh, cool. Well, if I ever make it over, I shall let you know.
Sounds good.
Is it horribly cold then where you are?
It's actually not. It's only about like 40 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Okay, that's not bad. That's above freezing at least, so.
No, not completely.
No, really?
Not yet, so.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
I'm starting to run out of things to say, I think, and actually I'm looking at the clock and thinking it's getting on. So I'm going to say goodbye again, Eric, but thank you so much for calling in. It's a really quick one. I feel a bit bad. I should have done these earlier, really, but never mind. I shall have to talk to you on Instagram some more, and then next time you can call in sooner.
Definitely. It was definitely
Awesome.
worth it.
It's great to hear you and to see you on
Bye.
screen, so thanks for calling. Bye. Okay. I am down to my last few minutes, which is what I suddenly thought, oh, crikey, actually, I feel like I should do a bit of a roundup thing. So I'm going to hold off on drawing prizes for everybody that's in the thread, because I'm not entirely sure how many prizes I have left in here. So I might have to go shopping. But I will make a note, I will make a note of your names in my little book, and I will find some stuff to send you guys. I did have some other stuff I was going to do a big draw for, but that's not happened. So I'll save those for another time, and we'll just see what happens. If it comes to the worst, you guys can all have patterns. At the very least, I shall send you guys patterns galore, because that's nice and easy, and I love doing that. It's an awesome thing to do. So last few minutes, is there anything I needed to fit in as well? Yes. So my little community section this week is a lot smaller. So instead, all it was I wanted to do another shout out for test knitters for Ellie's patterns. We've had one person shout out and show some interest, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. We're after a few more, so if you think you might be up for knitting, even if it's not straight away, if you have a problem with timing, what have you, that's fine. You just need to talk to us. But we would love, 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 love for you to get in touch and do some test knitting for Ellie. So it's just another shout out if you guys are up for it to do that. Now, one of the things I was going to talk about on the extreme knitting was sort of posture and stretching, what have you. And because I'll do a very, very quick bit about it before we finish for tonight, because there's a couple of really interesting things that I was thinking about, and I thought, oh, I must share this with you. The other thing I wrote on my post-it was, not a doctor. That's because I feel like a doctor, particularly since I have an American audience. And I see that sometimes on TV where... that was my... to test knit, so they've... Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So apparently you may have lost audio for a bit there. I'm not sure if you did, but you should be back now. So, oh yes, Kathy's just gone, no, mute, sound's gone for me. Yes, hold on guys, it's coming back, don't worry. So when you are knitting, whether it's with big chunky needles or more commonly with smaller ones, it's really common to want to look at it. No, you don't knit like this, do you? You knit with your knitting quite nice and low, which means to look at it, you bend forwards. And what happens, and I can feel this from tonight, is you're stretching across the back of your shoulders here. So as you crouch forward, you're really stretching across the back. And what people often want to do when they can feel something's aching is to kind of work it and stretch it. But the problem is, because you've been leaning forward and working, you've already overstretched it. So what you need to do is to rest the muscles in your back. So to do that, you can do some really simple stuff like just stretching across the front. So it seems counterintuitive to focus on the front, but that's going to help you release in the back. So it's a little trick for you. You can also do the usual kind of shoulder rolls and what have you, but I'll do more on that another time. But the thing that I was thinking about was this kind of thing of when you lean forwards, you actually need to focus on stretching across your front. So that's a taster for you for another session. I will, yes, for gaming as well, guys. For anybody that spends their time like this, yeah, computer keyboards and all of that. So I shall do some more on that another time, another week. But I did want to mention it because particularly with the extreme knitting, it's something you do really have to think about is your posture. So I often really think about sitting up really nice and straight. And there's, I could talk for an hour and a half about how to sit straight, guys, because it's not the obvious. I've spent years learning about how to sit straight. So I will talk about that. Enough from you. I will talk more about that another week. Oh dear. I kind of feel like the last thing actually I can do is to do a little bit of a tea test. I did say I'd do this at the end, so let's finish on a tea test because my clock says we're about to hit the 4-hour mark. So this is Ellie's cranberry pomegranate caffeine-free herbal tea. It sounds amazing. Oh, it smells, I mean, nice, but it smells kind of like fruity strepsils. It's got that real kind of menthol kick to it almost. And that is perfect for me right now. It's caffeine free, so it's not going to help me get home. So I may just end up crashing here. But cheers, guys. Thank you ever so much for being with me on this epic journey. Thank you to the guys in the room with me, Tam, Alex and Aisha, for being awesome support staff back screen. And guys, I will see you maybe not this Wednesday. I will probably still be recovering, but soon I will let you guys know. Thank you very much. Love to you all. Cheers. Bye.